Welcome, everyone, to another session of Half-Rate Heroes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we get started, welcome to everyone. I didn't get to say all my usual announcements last night as couldn't play yesterday. So please follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube. Or subscribe on YouTube, because that's a thing that you should be doing. And tell all your friends via Twitter all about us and our intrepid heroes. Your likes directly correlate to the survival rate of our heroes. So let's see those follows climb. Because I like these guys. I moved you to the wrong map, didn't I? Yep.
50 likes and we'll fight a Tarsock.
No. All right. So, where did we leave off our adventure? Well, the world is under yet another world-shaking event. And in this situation, the intrepid heroes, our group, have found themselves needing to plane a hop. Last week, they secured themselves a device that should allow them to be able to hop from plane to plane, should you be intelligent enough to be able to figure out the combinations needed. Hopefully someone is. And they rescued, or came just in time, to save Wampum, who was under attack from Drow. Our heroes are in the City of Brass within the elemental plane of fire, which is a entirely new experience for all characters, maybe not the players, but the characters at least. And so we will jump right back in to the aftermath of the adventure. We just had 3 Drow attack Wampum, and 2 are dead, 1 managed to slip away. So, take it away, guys. What would you like to do?
I think we need to drink after that one.
I'll pull out some of my whiskey and hand it to him.
Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you.
Since the whiskey's only just recently arrived in the elemental plane, it's still cool and it's nice. Bit of a refreshing feeling.
So,
yeah. Priorities. You've been here a while, Wampum. Do you know anywhere safe for us to go for a little bit?
Yeah, I have a cabin of me own that they've put me up at.
All right. Do that one gentleman that escaped, does he know about it?
You mean the Drow? No.
Yeah. Okay. Take us there, please. This probably isn't a good place to stay.
A moment, if you will. We should probably move the bodies inside. We don't want people asking questions, correct?
Nos did just recently intimidate the local law enforcement.
So we'll be fine.
Well, we can, that forge be real hot, so we can definitely do away with them real quick.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Gather the bodies, chuck them into the fire.
What's the status on the bodies, like, wound-wise? I know one of them got drained, so he's a mummy right now.
I think all of them took quite a bit of damage from various different weapons.
Okay.
Who was Lafcadio was the slowest, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Whoa! I got there latest. There's a difference.
Sorry. Yeah. So unfortunately, you don't see any net marks on the drow, but Kale would have hit them with. Oh no! You caused them to just walk around. So typical combat wounds, I would say.
Okay. Would it be easily covered up with what they're wearing? I don't know if it was like heavy clothing or.
No, they were all in very very tight-fitting leather armor that was specifically built to boost their capabilities. So any slash to them also would have ruined the armor in the same place.
Well,
Okay.
just throwing it out there, we are only 2 blocks for the that ocean of fire. That might be even a little bit hotter than Demi Forge.
I mean, how are we going to transport a couple bodies? Is that okay to do here? Does that happen a lot? I've never been here before, so I really...
As
I can run over there.
As they're talking, I'm quickly going to reach in my ingredient pouch and pull out a little vial of blood, and then a little pouch full of bone dust, and sprinkle it down, and I'm gonna begin casting Animate Dead.
Okay.
What you
Fair
doing
enough.
there, Teslin?
Well, why carry them when we can make them walk into the fires? Less
Is-
suspicious.
Is there somewhere discreet where people can and perhaps do walk into the sea of fire?
Well, I did watch some of the ships, because you see that big old white line of energy in the sky over there?
Yep.
That be the place where we be going.
Looks
But
familiar enough.
It's surrounded by the sea of fire. But we did see the ships. They be some type of magic that the sea of fire don't burn them.
Now, Wampum hasn't really been here for too long to really know too much of the neighborhood and area, but as you were flying over, you would have been able to see that there are 2 harbors within the city of Brass, Northern and Southern Harbor. They both are within the walled structure of the city. The city itself is surrounded by an enormous wall that's close to 50-something feet off the ground when you're up against it. But past that is the wilderness outside the city. Both of the harbors have walls leading up to and including some of the sea attached to them, but they are free accessed by people. So you could walk up to a harbor and kind of nudge them in, but it's probably a public place. So
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just keep it simple. I like the idea of just pitching them into the closest forge.
I suppose we may as well. Does this shop belong to somebody, or?
Yeah, it belongs to some of me weekend.
Okay. I mean, do you think they'd be fine with us tossing bodies in their fire?
Sure.
All right.
Wampum will pick one of them up and go toss him in.
Well, they've
It's
been
been about a
animated,
minute
right?
of them talking, because I definitely was not canceling my cast.
yeah. So after a minute, how many? Just
I can
choose a
2.
pile of bones. So
Yeah, but since I have a necromancy specialty, I get 2. So
Neat.
both of them, all 2 of them.
So both of them are now skeletons, or if you choose bones, a zombie. If you choose a corpse, so probably zombies. They come up as zombie drow. Yeah. So you can mentally command them. They're under your control for 24 hours, after which it stops obeying any command you've given it. To maintain control over the creature, should be
Then I
good.
just have to recast it. Yep.
Yep. So you now
Well-
have 2 zombie drow that just stand up at attention next to you.
Huh.
Go pick up your weapons.
But with a French accent, so I guess I'm walking over, and they grab their stuff and ready to go.
Perfect.
All right, well let's go find a place to bed down here.
So if you head back through the streets, not very far, because you were at the forge that you had been hired for when the drow attacked, and you just kind of slipped into that building for the attack. So you're at the forge where the person hired you. The room that you've been given is just a little ways down, so you can toss the bodies in the forge now and hear the zombies scream, or do it later once they're no longer zombies.
Well, Taslin, do you want to keep them as some helpers?
I can only guess that they will start to smell very shortly with this heat. Let's take anything of value off of them and toss them in.
Okay.
We can always find more.
They make my skin crawl a bit, mate. They're kind of creepy.
I'll think of them as no more than a golem or another construct of any other material. That's how I think of it.
Lefcadio, go over there and work them bellows for me so we can get her hot.
Sure, mate. Speaking of heat, here's this ring we got from from some helpful folks in Luskin. This will help you resist some of the effects of the heat in this place. You seem to be doing pretty well. It'll take a bit to attune to the item, but yeah, here's this ring, and let me work on these billows.
Okay. While you're working on the billows, getting the forge hot, some time will go by. Wampum will have had enough time to attune to the ring of fire resistance, and while you're inside the city of Brass, seems to have no difference, no effect on you. The person who owns the forge, the dwarf, is going to start slowly making his way towards you all. Hey, brother. Who this?
These be the people that I be telling you about before that be coming for me.
All right.
Well met, I'm Nos, and I'd like to walk up to him and headbutt him.
Go ahead and roll an athletics check.
The 16, it's a gentle headbutt. It's just a proper dwarven greeting.
Well met, Nos. All right.
Thanks for taking care of this old man for us.
He seems quite handy. Pretty good at the forge, at least.
That he is.
So, last time I was here, them two fellows were looking for you. Now they're just stood there with you. Why are you heating up the forge?
Well, we need to get rid of these two.
Hang on. Are you seriously considering throwing drow corpses, or I guess not corpses, putting drow in my forge?
Do you really want to know? Because you could just do a 180 right here.
Roll a persuasion check.
21.
Make sure there's no evidence.
Evidence of what?
And he'll turn around and walk away. I'm gonna have to move, and I was getting quite comfortable here.
Ignorance really is the best defense.
Well, but I'm curious, is that sort of thing going to affect the quality of anything that's crafted with that forge now?
We may have to move the coals around some.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Just take a note.
Makes sense to me. Like this. Sure, that's reasonable.
Knowing that this forge was often used by this dwarf to craft items that are then enchanted for other reasons, if you're in chat, let me know what kind of things you think drow blood would do to enchantments. I think at least add the sunlight sensitivity trait, but other things might happen. Let me know what you think. Keep going, guys.
So, you want to hear what we were up to?
Yeah, and then I be filling you in on me.
All right, check us out. We met and worked with Jarlaxle, and then we totally annihilated the Arcane Brotherhood. No exaggeration, they are dead. I have one of those guys' scalp as proof.
And me missed it. Man.
Well, honestly, it was kind of a tedious battle for folk like us that are not magically adept. Their room was all magical and stuff, and it did things. And I think I only started getting hits in like half the fight through. It was very irritating.
Speak of irritating, for some reason I couldn't hit them drow to save me life.
Me neither.
I think me beer be getting in the way. I might have to tie it back. But everything was quiet. I was having a good time on the forge, you see. I was making me some weapons. And I threw me shield in there to make me a better one. But I found out that that light over there be probably the stone that we be looking for. And I asked how to get over there, and he said that those ships right there be able to take us. So, but then all of a sudden I found out that this place, they don't deal much in gold. They deal in what they call souls.
It's awful.
What they call souls or literally souls?
I think it might be literally souls.
Okay.
Because the contract out on me was for 300 of them. So I'd be worth 300 souls.
They did trade in coin, but souls is also a currency.
Have you nailed down the gold to soul conversion right yet? Just so we have an idea.
No, because it be still sinking in that people be trading souls.
That pillar of light that we're going to head to, is that like the crystal in the Shadowfell, where we think it's on a flying city, or is it like the crystal in the Feywild, where it was on the ground?
Well, as much as I be knowing, I don't think it'd be up in the air. I think it'd be on the ground. It's just it'd be kind of hard to get to without them ships over there.
Well, we saw the Griffin standing outside right now, I imagine, that I just remembered. Just for a couple more hours, one of us could potentially fly over there and back, or I guess two of us at a time, if we wanted to just scout it out before we actually do anything to it.
Well, I'd be bleeding pretty heavy, so I'd probably not be a good one to go with you.
And my spell repertoire is severely depleted.
How are these? How are the accommodations here, Wampum? Can we rent some rooms, or do those cost souls too?
Honestly, I not be knowing. My good kin here took me in when I had nowhere to go. So he said, as long as I's been able to swing a hammer, he'd be putting me up.
All right. Well, then maybe either we could stay here if he doesn't mind us, and we can find some way to compensate him for his time. But I guess, is this where we were just attacked by the drow?
Yeah, for some reason, I guess they took a bounty out on me, and they'd be walking by asking if anybody seen this type of dwarf. And they finally came to me building, and I wasn't gonna let them take me take me back to the to Mother Nadursk, which I went and investigated her compound, Nos. She be a powerful drow, you see.
That reminds me. We actually told Jarlaxle the other 3 names on the list, and he said that he's gonna see about that when we get back. We can go ask him.
And he does owe us a favor.
But that sucks that she's here.
So, Mr. Kale, what ye be knowing of matron Mother Drow?
I don't know. Out of character, I don't know how much. I'm sure you would have met Drow before. Could I do maybe a history check? Would that be relevant? Or
Yeah, go ahead.
okay,
How much does Vinny know about?
a bit.
Okay.
So I got a. What is that? I have a modifier for this. It's
Oh,
plus that much, so 29.
okay.
Ooh.
Kale knows quite a bit about Drow.
Okay.
Knowing the history and the legends of how the different elven creatures came about, you'd know and understand at least the stereotypical drow. You might not have any first-hand knowledge of any individual drow, but you would definitely know of what you'd know of Menzo Berenson. You'd know the matriarchal society. You would know a matron mother is a very powerful individual, but usually gets others to do her work.
Right. Okay. So what I know about matron mothers is that they're generally kind of what are terms you would understand? Like a crime boss, kind of. You know how they have that sort of hierarchy, and there's the boss at the top who delegates everything down. That's what a matron mother is. But generally, they are pretty close to their god, I think. They get quite a bit of power from their goddess.
So how powerful she be?
I wouldn't be able to tell individually, but generally speaking, drow matron mothers are pretty tough individuals.
You would know at least about the system of the family hierarchy, and the higher up the list the family is, typically the higher and more powerful the matron mother of the family tends to be. So if you were able to confirm how high on the list of families the Nadursk family sits, you might have a better idea of how powerful she is. But until then, just assume powerful.
Are you guys still working the billows as this is going on?
I'd assume so.
Okay. While they're doing this, I'm going to be looking over the 2 zombie drow for any noticeable insignias or things of value on them besides their weapons. Would you like me to do like an investigation check or?
Not really, because they're under your control. You could just tell them to give me everything. You would be able to quickly figure out or know that it would be a pretty bad idea for any sort of strike team to hold any evidence of where they came from, just in case they were to die. So none of these drow have any sort of insignia that would identify which family they hail from. They have the items they need to kill, and that's pretty much it. So on them, they have their hand crossbows, short swords, poison darts, the lot.
Okay. Well, I will take the poison darts. I'll take their weapons from them, and while they're doing the thing, would you like me to just have them crawl into the fire, wampum, or?
Well, let me ask you a question. If you be telling them to go jump in the harbor, they would?
Yeah, I could tell them to keep walking in one direction till they get to the lake of fire and then hop in.
I think that'd be a much better idea.
Why?
Well,
Lafcardio's there sweating over the billows.
This be not my forge.
And after these individuals were so kind to Wampum, it would be undutiful to bring any undue harm to them for our actions.
That's what me be thinking is I don't want them to be under the drow scrutiny. He'd be very peaceful. He'd be hardworking. He don't need to be in this mess.
Well, I have to imagine that if the family sent assassins to an establishment and then they got to that establishment and were killed at that establishment or right outside it, that it really probably wouldn't color their opinion of that place very much, whether the bodies were disposed of there or if they were marched unceremoniously through the city and then jumped into the harbor of fire like puppets.
I'm surprisingly kind of with Kale on this.
Well, I'm also be thinking. I mean, being in the forge is, not me total specialty, but I'd be also kind of worrying about if there be some long-lasting effects on the forge itself. I mean, normally the dwarven forge they got some magic to them, you see, and I wouldn't want to be infringing some bad juju into this forge.
Okay. Taslin, can
Yes.
you conjure flames?
I could conjure a fireball.
That'll probably work. We could just put them somewhere outside and do that to their bodies.
That would work.
All right, well, hold on.
Or we could have them dig a hole and we could just leave them underneath there.
Well, where are they going to dig? Here.
I don't know. Is it like solid rock or is it solid?
Most of it is solid rock. It's
Okay.
it's rock that has over the sheer heat gotten harder and harder over the years.
Okay.
We can take some coals out of here and make a bed for them.
Okay, I feel like we've been here a very long time with these bodies, and one of them got away, and they might be coming back soon.
I'd be agreeing with you that's why I'm saying we just have them walk away and jump in the harbor, and let's go find us a resting place.
That'd just be, they could get stopped and grabbed and questioned or whatever if one of us isn't there with them.
They won't get questioned.
Why wouldn't they?
And I can give them specific orders in case someone does interfere. And we could cover them up with cloaks to hide any visible damage. So until they reach the fire, they would draw no scrutiny.
Oh, you've got extra cloaks just sitting around?
I'm sure one of us can buy some blankets or cloaks.
We should really just get rid of them here quickly and leave. Can you just do the fireball thing? I'd really prefer you just did the fireball thing.
What's the width and diameter of where we are right now?
You're in the middle of a busy, not a busy, but a tight-looking homestead area. Corridors and alleyways between buildings is no more than 15, 20 feet at the widest points. If you want to find an open space to be able to fit a 40-foot diameter fireball inside the city, you could find it. But it's going to be just a little ways down the street. You'll have to find an open space where maybe there's a crossroads or something that's big enough. Otherwise, you are in a place that seems to be quite resistant to fire. So exploding a fireball in a tightly confined space might not even do that much damage to the buildings or the areas around it. So you could just explode it right now, and even you guys resistant to fire, you should be fine.
I'm still going to stay out of its radius. There.
All right.
Just
so you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Taslin.
Yep.
you use a fireball to explode your corpses.
Okay.
Roll 8d6.
Okay.
They will not defend themselves from the fireball.
Sweet. 5, 7, 11, 13, 19, 21, 27.
Okay,
Damage.
good, because zombies have 22 hit points. So
I mean, that
using
might
the
not.
fireball.
I think they actually have extra HP because of necromantic. Let me just look. Their max HP is increased by 10.
Okay, so after the fireball explodes, they're still stood there.
I'll scorching ray
Flesh
both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've expanded both a fireball and a
Yep.
scorching ray in order to get rid of. Using the multiple blasts of the fire ray, the bodies will be disintegrated and destroyed. There we go. Gone.
Great.
No more drow as a problem. Ooh.
Except for the
Except
one that
for
got
the-
away.
Except for the drow compound that's on the other side of the city.
All right,
Alright.
let's
Should
be getting out of here.
should I try to should I change my appearance and try to secure rooms while you guys hide somewhere in case the drow start asking about us?
Well, Wampum said you have a place, right?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's just do that.
Okay. So you head over to Wampum's home. It's a small room that's not too far from the forge itself. It actually has a window in it that is no glass, because magnifying that would be bad. It's just an open hole in the side of the building with a shutter that can be raised and lowered. Looking out the window, you can see the forge from where you are. It's about 150 feet down the road. But inside there's no light inside this small little hut. It's only about 25 by 25 room with a bed in it and a chair. That's it. You've been given access to this for as long as you work at the forge.
Great.
But so, what's the plan, guys? What are you going to be doing here, and how are you going to do it?
Rest for 8 hours. That's my vote.
Can I see what I can do about boarding up that hole in the wall that's acting as the window?
Do you have spare wood, or would you dismantle the shutter to force it closed?
I just used what I could, so I guess the shutter.
Okay. All right. So breaking the shutter, reinforcing it in some way, athletics check if you're just going to kind of cram stuff in, if you're going to do other stuff.
Well, I
maybe
mean,
you can think of something else.
if Wampum will let me borrow his hammer, I'm sure I can find some stuff around here to actually use the Smith's tools proficiency.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Roll the. Go ahead and use the Smith tools then.
Old man, can I borrow your hammer?
Sure.
Thanks.
I'd be taking it. Just don't be making too much noise, girl. I'd be taking a nap.
Yeah. All right. Wow, this is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. 25.
You will securely nail that window shut.
Good. Now this is the only entrance and exit to this place.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys would like to rest up in the this room, there isn't any spare bed rolls, so you probably have your own that you rest up in. I don't think it's actually been that long since your last long rest, has it?
I don't know. A lot of stuff's happened.
I mean,
Yeah.
we woke up, we went to Jarlaxle sub,
We went
came
to
back
the,
to Luskin,
the
fought the
arcane
wizards,
place,
teleported
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, so there's not long left before you do bed down for the night. Are you going to be keeping watches at all during the evening?
Aye.
Then in which case, who's taking the first of the 4 watches?
I'll do it.
Okay.
And
Right.
Wampum will make his bed at the door. So if the door's open, they're going to move me.
Okay. Does the door open inwards or out?
I'm hoping in.
We'll say in, so that works. All right, Kale, go ahead and roll a perception check on your watch, and what kind of things are you going to be looking out for?
Drow mostly, and maybe
Right.
a Freet. And if they're snooping around or looking at stuff.
Except the only window has now been boarded up. The only thing you can see is your companions and the door into the room. So are you going to be outside the room making a watch? Are you going to be inside the room? Are you going to be are you listening for certain sounds? What are you?
Yeah, I'm just going to listen for sounds. That's what I'm going to do. And actually during it, I'll just keep casting. Well, no, that's a dumb idea. I'll just listen as much as I can.
Okay.
For any unusual noises.
Can I make a offer another option?
Absolutely.
You could exit the room and actually hide and be a lookout in an outside position.
So is the door room that goes out to the street, or?
No, to get into Wampum's room, there is a door that is on the street, but it leads to a staircase that goes up. At the top of the staircase are 3 different doors. One is Wampum's room. 2 are 2 other rooms, probably also owned by people who work the same forge. So right outside the room, doors left and right, stairs straight down, front door out to the street. But the front door out to the street isn't really that solid. It's actually quite loosely fitted to the frame, allows a lot of airflow in and out of the staircase. Okay.
All right, so what if I were to walk out of the frontmost door that lets air through it? Mm-hmm. Is there somewhere where I could put my cloak up and hide, just like up against the corner of a wall or something?
Like outside the house itself?
Yeah, because you said there's it's just the one central door that everybody has to go through to get up, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it doesn't sound like there's anywhere good to hide, just a staircase past that.
No.
So
yeah, it's just all right. So outside the house, looking down a corner, down the alley around the side of the building, you will see boxes and crates and barrels that you can hide behind and tuck yourself in. Go ahead and roll a stealth check and then a perception check.
All right. 18 plus 3. I got a 22 on the stealth.
Okay.
21, because I know how to do math.
All right.
And then 17 plus 6 is 23 on perception.
23 on perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. All right. So making your little cubby hole comfortable while you're keeping watch, you will manage to stay hidden. And there will be, in fact, during your watch, a small group of soldiers that walk straight down the street. They stop at the other forge and they start looking at the place. You notice them talking to the dwarf who had returned by then. So speaking to them for a moment. 150 feet away from you, 150 feet at the end of a corridor, they're talking to the dwarf in his house. After talking to him, he points in the other direction, away from you guys.
Okay. I was going to say, as soon as I saw them doing that, I would have tried to sneak back up into the room to warn everybody.
Okay. Would you still do so?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
How many hours has it been?
1.
So yeah, I'd go back into the room. I'm going to assume we established a secret knock or something.
Otherwise, what's going on?
And they'll let me in with no issues. And I'd be like, yeah, they're down this street. They were just talking to this blacksmith right now. So just be aware, be alert, be ready for anything.
10, 15 minutes go by. No one comes to the door. No one comes in.
All right, I guess we're good.
All right. You will pass off your watch to someone else who takes the second shift. No one. Okay.
So how many hours has it been? Has it been over 4 by the end of his shift?
No, 2. Remember,
Yeah.
8-hour long rest.
Yep.
4
So
shifts.
divided by 2. Yep.
All right. So Lafcadio, I think you were jumping at the muted chance to take the second shift. Go
Aye.
ahead. And what are you going to be doing for your watch? Kale went outside to a little hidey hole. Where are you going?
I'll
What are you
confer with Kale. I say, how'd you do your watch?
I went to the place and there was boxes, and I put my cloak on and I hid under.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, good luck.
All right. Same again. Stealth and then perception.
All right, 28 on the stealth. 15 on the perception.
Okay. Very well hidden. You sit there carefully watching everything. About an hour into your watch, so approximately 2 hours after it occurred last time, another group of soldiers are marching down the street. They don't stop to talk to any place, but they are looking around the place. Roll an insight check for me.
When we flew over the city, did I get an indication of what other races might be prevalent in the city of Brass?
The most common would be Ifrit. Those are the most common race that's here, but most other races are here prevalent as tourists. You don't typically find many other races that are staff or that actually live and work here. You saw some dwarves, elves, humans. You wouldn't have seen any drow while you were flying, except the drow that were attacking Wampum.
Okay, so while I'm keeping my watch, I am disguised as an Ifrit, and my insight is a 6.
Okay, cool. So you got no idea what these guys are doing, but they are walking down the street, looking down every alleyway, but specifically looking at the alleys. They're not looking at the buildings. And then they just walk past you because you're well hidden. Then your watch ends peacefully. Who'd you hand off to?
I look to see if anyone's about to wake up, and I see
It's over
Tasman
4 hours. Yep. I open my eyes since I've been meditating, and
Okay.
I will take the next watch, throw my Piwa feed over my head.
Tasman,
Did
right? What?
Yeah, did anything happen?
Kale and I have found this like little cubby hole that seems to be well secluded, and like we both saw some guards marching around the streets looking for things, paying close attention to the alleys for whatever reason. So, good luck. Don't die.
I will let you know if I see anything different.
Okay. So, returning to the same hiding spot. Stealth, perception.
All right. That would be a 16 for perception and a 21 for stealth.
Okay. All right. Again, almost like clockwork, an hour into your shift, 2 hours after it happened last time, another patrol of guards walks down the road. This time they're going in the other direction.
Am I getting the sense that this is just a routine, like, their route for the night? Would that be an insight check? That they're just making the rounds?
Yeah. Roll an insight check to watch their behavior to see what they're doing.
Well, that natural 20 will come in handy.
If you guys had talked about the specific timing of the behavior, you'd probably be able to figure out they're on regular patrols.
All right, so that was a 22.
Yeah. Looking at their behavior, these guys are all, strangely enough, this troop is actually human. A little bit different from the troop that Lafcadio would have watched walk past. He watched some Ifrit making their way through. These guys are human guards. A troop of 6 of them. They are definitely on patrol. They are some form of law enforcement, just making their rounds. And everything seems fine. They don't bother you at all because they can't see you.
Perfect.
So end of your shift, pass off to someone else.
I'll just take the next shift.
You're just going to take the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
So remaining hidden, just like clockwork, 2 hours later, another patrol walks past. This is a well-militarized location, especially in the evenings, apparently. So, total end of your rest, end of your shift. Everyone has gained the benefits of a full, long rest. Everyone has hit points back up to maximum. Spell slots all refreshed. Everything is as it should be and is right with, well, kind of right with the world. So, on this bright yet not sunny morning, what do you do?
I guess we have to go get a boat, right?
Assuming that we go straight to the crystal and are successful in defeating it, and we have to make an expeditious retreat, should we plan for our next hop while we're in a place where we can do so comfortably? Like if we're going to go to the next plane, should we make any preparations now for things to buy?
I will need 50 gold worth of that chalk that I need for a portal should we be returning to the plane, the material plane, shortly after our jump.
Okay. I don't know much about magics, but can we use your teleportation circle to go from one plane to another plane?
We cannot.
Okay. Well, you spent a lot of money on that spell. Let me give you, what do I have left? Here's 100, because I know you might be able to use it somewhere.
Why, thank you.
But like if we go to the plane of water, like I guess we can survive with just that spell that Tasla knows. So should we make that our next stop, or should we plan for something else?
I don't see why not.
Don't see why not.
Why we shouldn't go to the water plane right now.
Okay,
Or not
so
right
that
now,
means
next.
that means we can go straight to this crystal then, right?
I suppose so. I can't imagine. I can't think of anything that I really particularly need. Here.
Dale, how far did I hammer that shield out?
Which one? Okay,
So, yeah, I thought you said Kale as well. So, the shield that you've been working on?
Yeah.
Not very far. I mean, to fully craft what you were working on, it would take another work week to finish it up.
Okay.
So if you're willing to dedicate a work week here in the city of Brest, you can finish a really powerful magical shield, but not until then.
I'd be needing to come back and finish my shield after we destroy this crystal.
And it would give me a week to work on understanding the intricacies of this magical item.
A week?
And the combinations.
I'd be thinking and knowing that I need about a week.
Oh, no.
The guidance that I got from Nabanian suggested that we move with all haste.
Yes.
Is the shield that integral?
I'd be feeling kind of naked without it.
Well, then maybe we could just buy a temporary shield to cover your nethers, so to speak.
Alright, well then let me be seeing what be selling. I don't know if we can find gold, or do we have to deal in souls? I not be knowing.
I am interested in this market and its dealing in souls. Do they keep it in purses? Or is it all written down on notation?
I not be knowing.
Me neither.
Just in case, just on the off chance it was just a mishearing, is it like do they have like a fascination with footwear? Is that the thing that they're after, or is it?
No, it be the spirit that be in me.
All right, I was hoping for the other, but I guess can't always get what you want.
And you guys were unable to resurrect your companion, correct?
Correct.
Could someone have purchased their soul to prevent such a resurrection?
If
You would know more than I would.
if someone did, then that someone was a lord of one of the nine hells. So I don't think we're getting that one back.
I be not knowing how ye actually get a soul.
Me neither.
Well, I would
Something
love to
tells
explain
me
it.
you
but
guys might need other individuals to answer all of these questions that you happen to have. Sat around talking to one another, you might not gain any information you don't already have.
Well, let me cast divination now. So there's a lot of theories about that, you guys, but now's not really the time or the place.
All right, let me go see if we can find me a shield.
So,
Okay.
do you want to travel with me, Master Dwarf? As I need to buy my ingredients, I would surely appreciate your strong hammer-throwing arm beside me.
You got one of them cloaks in y'all's bags?
Well, we do have this one, and I'll call it the vampire halfling cloak. It's a bit small for you, but that's all we got.
It's not going to be too small. He's only a dwarf.
Dwarves are a lot bigger than halflings.
I mean,
Yes.
it's wide, but
Yes. It'll fit over your head and shoulders.
That
like a mantle.
makes me feel better. So
I could do something. I could do something about your face potentially.
Rude.
No, if you wanted to look different, is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
I do have a kit for that.
You do.
I do.
Would it?
Not used it in a while.
would
I
it
haven't ever
involve
used it.
Cutting up his beard at all?
No, I don't think so. I think I could bifurcate it and pull it around and do some other stuff with it.
All right. I have a scarf too from Allie that you could wear if you
We
want.
can cover the bottom of his face with that.
All right. Well,
Well-
let's get to it.
All right, I'll fleek up his eyebrows.
Rub some ash into his beard.
And his hair, so it's no longer moon white.
All right. So, after successfully, or at least believing you have successfully disguised wampum, roll a disguise kit check. I would reckon that would be a charisma-based check.
Just straight charisma. I
No,
don't have proficiency with the disguise kit. I just have a disguise kit.
Okay. Then just a straight-up charisma check with
All
a
right.
disguise kit.
So you look great. That's a nat
so-
one.
A natural one, which makes remember that nat one does not mean an automatic fail on skill checks. So, what is the total with your nat one?
It's a 3. I like to imagine that he looks like a clown. His eyebrows.
I
are
was
like
I was
these
gonna say like
really
when
high up.
children get into their parents' makeup and like you have like all those lipsticks smeared across.
He definitely doesn't look like wampum. Like that.
That's good.
That's sorted, but he definitely stands out. All right,
And
making your way.
I'll
Yeah,
go
go
ahead and
ahead.
put the gnome cloak on and all that too.
Okay, with the collar popped,
Mm-hmm.
halfling vampire cloak. All right, so making your way through the city, the best marketplace in town is actually found in the Paraculum, which is the city's market, which has attracted countless different craftsmen. You have the Edible Bazaar, the Hayat Souk, Murabout Souk, Marrakesh Bazaar, Mehara Bazaar, and Kawa Souk. lots of different marketplaces, well known amongst the area and easily found by just simply asking where are the markets. So you don't need to be looking for a specific one, but there is everything you could possibly hope to find would be here, as long as it already exists within the D&D universe. No problem. Nothing. So, if you're looking for a shield, what kind of shield are you looking for?
Well, how much would be a small enchanted shield?
Depends on the enchantment.
Like
If you're just looking for a shield that has improved AC, then that's one thing. But if you're looking for a shield that does other stuff, that's something else entirely.
Let's start with the improved AC.
Okay. So, looking for a shield of that particular ilk, roll a investigation or perception check.
All right, perception is a 26.
Okay. All right. Won't take you too long to be able to find the person within the Marrakesh Bazaar that sells all manner of wonders of magical weapons and armor. That is what he specializes in. Outside this small little shop, which is more like a hole in the wall with a tent over the front of it, you can see racks and racks of shields just laid out in front of each other with wonderful designs, and sat out in front of these shields is in fact a small monkey cleaning the shields. Behind the shields is a nice long table with different kinds of swords on it, and a dhow stood behind it, willing to, as the actual shopkeep. The dhow stands up to you, as anyone who is versed with elemental kinds would know that the dhow are more attuned to the earth elemental plane, not the fire. So, you approach the dhow, nice and happy. Come on, what can I get for you today?
Ah, I see you be cleaning these shields.
I'm Abat Ushwat, and I have the best stuff in town.
Abehua?
Abat Ushwat.
Ushwat.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
And you are?
I be Wampum Thunderbelly, you see.
Wampum Thunderbelly. Wonderful. Wonderful.
So,
You're looking for a shield?
I
right?
be looking for a shield.
Okay. What kind of shield?
Ye be dealing in gold?
I be dealing in gold. Yeah.
I just
What
be checking. I heard
What
about
you be
these,
dealing in?
I heard about these souls being a currency.
Well, I prefer not to involve myself in that currency, just simply because it's so valuable and so high. You don't want it stolen.
No.
No.
But I be dealing in gold, preferably if that be okay with you.
But of course. Of course.
So I be looking for something because my left arm, you see, is kind of naked. I'm used to something being there.
You could put a glove on.
No, I need something bigger.
A gauntlet.
You wouldn't be having the emblem of Morden on your shield, would you?
No. But we can put one on. We can put one on for you. My friend here is very good at painting. Very good. Best painter in all of the shop.
How long it be taking you?
Oh, he can whip out a picture of a hammer and an anvil in a couple of minutes.
Okay, so what kind of enchanted shields you be having?
Well, if you want a shield that just has a minimal improvement on its base abilities, I will happily throw it away to you for a simple 1,000 gold pieces. If you wanting something a little bit more grander, a nice bigger shield that even attracts things that are headed towards it, I could sell that to you for 15,000 pieces.
15,000?
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be a powerful looking shield there.
It certainly is, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, that minimal protection that you be talking about, I think be more of me liking.
Are you sure? This simple little thing probably isn't going to be able to defend someone of your stature.
What you be knowing of a dwarf stature?
I'm trying to give you a compliment here, Mr. Dwarf.
I'm just checking.
All right.
You know how us dwarves are easily offended.
Yeah, don't swing your hammer before it's set.
Okay. But so you say 1,000 gold? You say?
Yes, 1,000 gold. It's a steal. It's
how
a
about-
steal.
Since ye be knowing me dwarf stature, how about 800?
Oh, shrewd little dwarf. Roll a persuasion check.
Big old 10.
How about we go for the 800, but I get that hammer.
No.
Then
No,
1,000
no.
gold it is.
Can I see the shield real quick? Or is it
Uh,
out here or is it in the back?
it's out here, but you're not touching it.
All right. Let me see real quick. Never mind.
The monkey will slap your hand if you try to touch it.
I promise not to
Just-
touch it.
Warning you.
I was just
And
I
the monkey
didn't
turns
remember
around
if
with swashbuckler
prestidigitation was verbal and somatic, or if I could make it look all dusty and filled with cobwebs.
Well, since you caught me in the need and state, I'll give you 1,000.
You will?
I will.
Wonderful. All right. Then you wanted a picture painted on it?
I do.
All right. I'll get my little friend here to be hurry up and paint that picture. What color would you prefer the picture to be painted in?
Let's do gold.
Does
Okay.
painting it cost extra?
No. Okay. You want it in gold? We'll have it in gold. We'll make it look like the best golden hammer and anvil you've ever seen. All right. He snaps his fingers. The monkey walks over towards one of the shields, picks it up, slowly waddles its way into the shop where it starts slabbing it with paint. 2 minutes later, with the paint still wet but drying quickly with the nature of the heat in here, you will have a shield +1 with a more like a child's approximation of what an anvil looks like. See?
Okay.
Wonderful artwork. There's a big old golden blob on the front of your shield.
Gotcha. Well, I'd be finding me here. What you say you be needing?
Oh, I need some special chalks.
Special chalks. How special?
Special enough to function for a conjuration spell, if you will. Teleportation circle.
Well, those aren't special chalks at all. How much chalk are you looking for?
50 gold.
I'll sell it to you for 60.
I can find it elsewhere.
All right.
I'm gonna make to walk out and see if he lowers it down. Okay, he doesn't.
50
but I'm-
gold is the value. Remember, 50
Yeah.
gold is the value it needs to be worth. The value it's going to be sold for is never going to be the same.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I was just seeing how desperate he was to make a sale.
Well, if there is anything else I can do for you, remember, Abbot Ashwat is your friend in the city of Brass.
Hey, I got a question for you, sir.
Okay.
Maybe you don't deal in this stuff, but maybe you know somebody who does. Do you know if anybody has anything like an item that will allow you to sustain flight?
I know a guy that does have a set of flippers that look like feet flippers, but also have wings on them.
That's kind of cool. Is this guy decent to deal with?
Pretty nice guy. Pretty nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to point me out to him?
50 gold.
How about instead I help you? How good is your relationship with this guy? Because if I tell him that you sent me over, then maybe you guys can broker yourselves some kind of shared deal, and that can be instead a service that I provide for you. You guys go get drinks somewhere and talk about business at some point. Make you a doorway.
Roll a persuasion check.
15.
Okay. All right. The dhow will slowly float out towards you, towards the front, lean forward and shout down the street, "Hey, Nicolat! Nicolat! Got some friends you need to see. Daft old fool over here. Yeah, these ones. They want something you have." You'll see an Ifrit step out. Looking like the one that you had scared yesterday. Not exactly the same one, but similar style, though this guy has a nice big red eye patch over one eye. He's the one you want to talk to.
All right, thanks, man.
No
Appreciate
problem. Don't forget, Abetash Ushwat is your friend.
Ushwat. Got it.
Yes.
So I'll go see Nikolaj.
So Nicolat.
Nicolat.
Happens to sell this wonderful pair of flippers. You'll see them. They're in a case, well, more like a cage, a wire cage, to showcase them off. And he's quite proud of them because they are a combination of boots that give you a fly speed and give you a swim speed.
That's awesome. But I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna hide my
Okay.
awe.
Right.
Hey man, how you doing today?
Hey, you know that guy?
I do.
Okay.
He's actually sent me over here. Does good business. Reflects well on you. You should know.
And you're on the, you're on the level, right?
Which level? There are a lot of.
Okay. No,
This city
no,
is.
That's
I'm new
okay.
here.
That's okay. That's okay. What can I do for you today, madam?
How much? What's your asking price for those winged flippers?
Winged Flippers. That's a fantastic name for him. I was gonna call him something else, but
What are you
Winged
gonna call
Flippers sounds better.
No, what are you gonna call?
Flippers are flying.
That's good too.
I prefer the Winged Flippers. All right.
What's your asking price?
So, per boot, it's 600 gold. Per boot.
And how long have you had him?
Long enough that I'd be willing to sell them to you for such a cheap price, but not long enough that I don't have other people that might be interested in.
600 per flipper. I'll do 450 per flipper.
450 per flipper. Roll a persuasion check.
14.
Okay. I'll sell you the left one for 450, but the right one is 600.
415. 550.
450 and 550. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, did I? How much did I? Oh, well, wow. Oh, okay. He'll unlock the cage, give you your winged flippers.
Woo.
There you go.
And do you happen to sell any magical components?
Yes.
What about magical chalk?
I sell some magical chalk.
And what is your price? I'm looking for about this much. And I'm
About
like,
that much?
the
75
50.
gold.
you know what? I think you're fantastic, and I will pay that. You have not given me the spiel. You're a straight arrow.
Alright. 75 gold it is. You get 50 gold worth of chalk for 75 gold.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you, I'll ask an Ignan. Do you have strips of ivory and you know where I can get incense?
Yes and yes. I like you. You speak my tongue. How much do you need?
Well, I need 4 strips of ivory with an approximate value of 50 gold apiece. And I need 250 gold worth of incense.
Right. Okay. Well, since I managed to get a little bit more for what the other things were worth from your grey friend there, I'll sell them to cost for you. And he gives Taslin a bit of a wink and a thumbs up.
I give him a thumbs up as well.
Great. Perfect. Wonderful deal. It's nice doing business with you.
Bring your friend back.
You got a lot of random items.
I do sell a lot of random stuff.
Hey, you know what? Good for you.
Thank you.
You're running a wonderful business, and you seem like a nice person. I've never met an Efreet before. I've only learned your language from books, but this has been absolutely joy-filled experience, Mr. Nicolad. My name is Kale, and I appreciate the time we've had together. It's been special to me.
I feel that. I'm not like all Efreet, so do be careful. Other Efreet in the city, you never know. Some of them might be part of more of an elitist kind of group, so do be careful with them. The last thing you need is to anger the unquenchable, because they don't stop until they've quenched.
And they cannot be quenched.
So they don't stop.
Sounds frightening. I'll avoid it to the best of my ability. Thank you for the advice. I'm sure I don't want to get caught up. I've read that many of your people trade in slaves, so I don't want to get caught up in that.
Yep. Well, if you treat the slaves right, then it kind of makes it okay. Kind of.
All right, we're going to leave now. So thank you again for your time.
The views expressed by Nicolette do not represent the views expressed explicitly of half-right heroes. Okay.
So that was like all in Ignan, I imagine.
That was all in Ignan, even the disclaimer.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, I got what I needed. This guy's great.
Does he know about the boats? Or if there's someone we should talk to?
You know what? Let's just go to the harbor and ask somebody else about that.
All right.
Go to the southern harbor. Don't go to the northern harbor.
Why?
Northern harbor is where the Sultan's personal fleet docks. It is the naval harbor, and you will be attacked on sight if you go there. If you're looking for a touristy harbor, go to the southern harbor.
I would like to insight check this guy.
Roll an insight check.
I don't trust that. Well, 11. So
I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I mean, he was straight with you.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the straightest arrow.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you again.
No problem.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right, I'm gonna start walking.
So, the southern harbor isn't too far from here if that's where you guys head towards. Any other locations you'd go to?
I'm good.
I'm gonna make myself look as much like that Nicolot fella.
Okay. Cool. Fair enough.
Are there any specialty foods on the way?
Specialty foods?
I don't know. I don't know the customs here.
By your
You will be
plates.
walking. You will be walking through a food bazaar that has all manner of delicacies that they specialize in from not just the material plane but also other planes. If you wanted to grab some food, it's nice. It's good stuff. Usually cooked.
Sure, I will treat the party to 5 gold worth of food. I think that's reasonable.
Sounds good. You'll get a single arborean fruit. Just one for 5 gold.
Okay, there. Never had it before.
Tastes succulent. Tastes like you never want to leave. All right. So, continuing to make your way through the streets, I need perception checks from everyone.
$16.
26.
50.
Wampum?
25.
25. Okay. Wampum and Taslin see a monkey following them.
We be being followed by that monkey.
I was gonna say it in Elvish. Hoping the monkey didn't understand Elvish.
Maybe he likes that fruit that you just got.
Is there any fruit left after I've cut up 5 slices?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
Sorry, monkey, we're out of fruit.
He'll scurry off and try to hide. Round the corner, disappear from view.
Point person in front of me.
He'll walk
I'm
away.
going to.
A couple minutes later, he'll be back.
I'm going to motion that we turn down an alleyway, and I'm going to try and cast Greater Invisibility on Nos. So I'm going to, set a hand on her and be like, stay a little bit behind.
What do you want me to do?
Catch the monkey.
Okay.
Does she need to be invisible to do that? Because I feel like she could just catch a monkey.
Got me there.
It's a bit late now. She's invisible for the next hour.
I know.
Okay, so after turning Nos invisible, greater invisible, so Nos can mess with people and not be revealed, which is a fun thing. You continue down the streets. Perception checks from everyone, especially Nos.
21.
4.
22.
16.
Wampum got a 16, but the passive's 22.
All right.
Monkey stealth check.
Monkey stealth check. What is the stealth modifier of a monkey?
+2.
Bear with me 1 second.
I
Yeah,
always wanted a pet
I was
monkey.
just guessing.
but this guy's a special little monkey.
He's a pickpocket
One could
monkey.
say
Well, I mean, he paints, so.
he is.
Yeah,
pain.
that's
It's +2. That is exactly what he has. It's a +2. So there's not really much chance of him. Oh, he got a 22. who's a nat 20. But with a passive of 22 and a 22 from Taslin, you guys see this perfectly stealthy monkey right on the verge of reaching into Lafcardio's little peg.
I'm gonna. Sorry, let me. I don't have a. I can't cast hold. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation and have fireworks shoot out of Lafcadio's pocket at him.
Whoa!
Just, yeah!
That's
so
not
the
supposed
monkey
to do
starts-
that.
The monkey starts chasing off. All of you can see the monkey.
I'm gonna
as
go-
it's trying to run away.
I'm gonna run after it. I'm trying to catch it.
Okay, what are you going to do to try and catch the monkey? Which of your skills will be ideal for helping you catch a monkey?
I'm gonna, like a American football player, I'm just gonna charge it and then try to tackle it. So I guess athletics.
Athletics, there we go.
Is
All
it
right.
at advantage with invisibility?
I would say so, yes.
22.
22. All right. The monkey is running, and it's a quick little fellow, charging down the street. Very agile. He keeps turning corners very quickly, trying to avoid any sort of detection. When he starts to feel like he's gotten away, oof, he gets hit and tackled, and suddenly an onlooker would just see a monkey barrel rolling, but with no barrel, screams at the top of its head. I'm not going to scream.
I'll hold
There are
on to
people
it.
by.
I'll hold on to it and walk back. So you just see floating monkey down the street. It's like, I got it!
So, like, as she's, like, walking back, I'm like, I apologize about that, Lafcadio. The monkey was trying to pickpocket you.
Why me? What? Do I have a target?
Why is it always-
I'm like an Ifrit. I'm supposed to be like blending in. What is it about me that makes me a target? I don't
Maybe
understand.
people don't like Ifrit here.
Seems unlikely.
You do look like an Ifrit.
It was so worth
Well,
burning that
He's
fourth
going to
level
be
slot.
screaming off for a while. What are you going to do with the little monkey that tried pickpocketing you?
Man, that would be a really good time to have friends, but I don't have that spell.
Throw him in the lava. Is that a bit much? That seems like a bit much.
The monkey screams are going to get louder and louder.
Um,
Probably going to draw attention in a moment. A floating monkey screaming in front of 4 individuals. It's going to draw attention.
Did you not have a plan for after you told me to do this?
Nope.
I will scold the monkey. Bad monkey. Bad. Are you?
Intimidation check. Intimidate the monkey.
13.
The monkey responds abruptly with the same.
I'll use Prestidigitation to create an illusion. Would a banana, an illusionary banana, count as a trinket?
No.
Oh, darn. Never mind. I've got nothing.
All right. You go back. You go back to your owner. I'm very cross at you.
Do you
Can I put it
him
down
on
now?
boss?
Let him
Okay.
go.
You let him go, he'll drop and bounce and just tear off, running away. That is a frightened little monkey.
I get extra insecure about all my belongings, and I clutch everything tighter.
You should get a pouch for that goes on the front of you. I don't know if there's a name for it. It sounds like it would look ridiculous, but you know, if you want to be safe, you should do that. Do it that way.
Oh, I'm all illusions, so I don't even know where he'd be trying to get things from me. Like, if I had one of those, like, I don't even know what it would look like.
Or maybe if you got a backpack but wore it on the front instead of the back, and then you can see everything that's going on.
A papoose.
Yes. But anyway, if we're quite done making a scene, we should.
Yes. I hate monkeys.
To the boats! A harbor. There are
So-
boats.
Heading down towards the harbour, it is clearly signposted and known as the harbour. You will see a bunch of boats all in and around the water there. The sea of fire is literally a sea of fire. It doesn't look like lava or magma that is in any way cooling down. It is fresh and hot and going to stay that way for a very long time. Thankfully, you will see a nice signpost, almost like a tourist attraction. Thanks to the great Sultan's will, the harbour is safe to swim in.
No.
You gonna go swim in the lava? Nope. All right.
No.
Inside the harbour, there are a number of boats, and as you're actually close to them, you notice that these boats don't actually touch the lava itself. They are shaped like boats, but they have a strange blue glow right underneath the hull of it that seems to keep them aloft just above the surface of the lava. Inside, the harbour itself is surrounded by the same city wall as everything else, but there is a large gate that leads out of the city that is known as the Magma Gate that you will is there. Now, there aren't very many boats that are making their way out of the Magma Gate. In fact, most of the boats in this area are doing small trips on the water or the lava here within the harbour. You'll see Ifrit merchants who are selling boat rides on the Sea of Fire. 5 gold per hour. Go for the ride of your life. Experience fire that's water and water that's fire.
Can I hail one of those fellas?
Yes, you can.
Wait, Lafcadio, do you speak their language?
Well, they all speak the language of money, don't they, mate?
Sure, but it may help if we were to, you're going for this whole ruse thing, right?
And you say Ifrit hold slaves, correct?
Sometimes, yep.
So
Perhaps you could
slave.
be his interpreter. He doesn't deign it well to talk to anyone else.
But what? They're here for tourists. We're tourists. I'm not from these parts. Or unless
But you look like you are, though, right now.
like I might have been born elsewhere.
Are
If
elementals born? Tweet us at Crituitous RP. Tell me.
If that's okay, Lafcadio, I guess I don't really want to spend a lot of time giving you notes on the character you want to play right now. So, if that's what you want, if that's the backstory you want to go with, then that's fine. I just wanted to make the suggestion. Maybe things might go smoother if I spoke to them in their tone.
If you want to be if you want to do the talking,
I
have
don't
at it.
really, actually. Go for it.
Mates,
Come one, come all. Have a wonderful ride.
tell us about your ships in this boat thing. What sights will we behold?
There's not much sights to behold, but the experience, once in a lifetime experience, of riding a boat over fire.
Well, what's that thing out in the distance that looks like a sight to behold? That pillar of light. What is that? What is that all about?
I don't know.
Is no one curious? Has no one, when did it show up and how long has it been there? And has anyone gone and returned from it?
Can you take us there now?
You seem to have a lot of questions about this place.
Well, you guys have a mode of transportation, and that looks like an interesting thing to look at. I mean, it's not every day that me and my mates come down to the city of Brass. This looks like an exciting thing.
Well, I could give you all that information, but it seems quite valuable to you. So,
Well, I'd like It's not
50
valuable.
gold.
I mean, we just want to see the sights, and you say there's no sights here. So if we, I mean, what is it? I mean, if you tell me it's not worth going there, then that's one thing. But if it's interesting, then maybe we should take a look at it.
It's not worth going there. Not
What?
worth going anywhere that my ships don't already go. The harbor is all you need.
What is it though?
I don't know.
Does anyone not just sailboats here in the harbor?
From time to time, some certain cruisers are brave enough to go outside the magma gate and to explore the sea to some degree.
Do you do you work with any of them?
Roll a persuasion check.
That is a 27.
I could arrange a boat that could take you out there. Yes, but it's a dangerous trip. The waves of fire could topple a ship in an instant. Could destroy you all.
I'll sign a waiver.
Are you-
It's no big deal.
You are willing to sign the waiver? Okay.
Is there really a waiver? I don't know.
Well, if you get onto the boat, I hold no responsibility over your livelihood.
Right. Well, we're gonna take the boat. We're here to see the sights. You know,
Taking this boat.
we're gonna have a good time no matter what.
No matter what anybody says.
Is it just a verbal waiver thing, or is there something we actually have to sign?
No physical sign. You're just letting me know that I don't have to worry about you.
Oh, okay.
Like if you go overboard, I'm not turning the ship around for you.
Sure.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
Well, I'm probably the best pilot that
Probably
I
or
know.
are.
Shh. If you'd like, for 25 gold pieces a person, I'll take you out for the day. Outside the magma gate.
I'm keenly interested in that thing out there. So outside the magma gate won't get us there necessarily. We want to go to see that thing.
Okay.
Are you agreeing to take us to the thing?
I would take you there, but I don't know. You see, light dimensions, it could be further than we think. So if it takes more than a day, you have
We'll
to
pay
pay
you
per
for the
day.
extra day.
Okay? 25 gold per person per day.
That seems a bit steep, mate. I mean, if one of us was going to go, then, like, why should we all pay separately? I think 25 gold for the trip would be more than fair. I mean, we're just taking your boat out and coming back. It's not like you have a lot of customers. So,
While your argument makes sense, the magic that keeps the boat safe and afloat does require fine attunement to the quantity of and weight of those aboard.
it sounds like a line you would give someone. It doesn't sound... I know magic too, mate. And that doesn't sound kosher.
It's my boat.
All right,
You're the
25
ones that
gold.
want to go
Well,
out.
hold on. There's plenty of other people we can ask on this dock with boats. Or not on this dock, but in this harbor.
And have to deal with this speech every time, Kale?
If you're looking for a better deal, Arcadia, it may behoove you to ask more than one person.
We just want to see the sights.
Okay. 15 gold per person.
All right, there we go.
Am I still invisible?
No, it lasts
Yes.
only a minute. I think.
A minute? I thought greater
so.
invisibility is
Let's
close.
see.
No?
Greater
I don't think it's
invisibility.
on there.
It is 1 minute.
Oh. Then it probably wouldn't even last.
Oh.
Anyways. So no, it is 15 gold for each of you 5 persons.
All right.
So 65 gold.
I will kick in my 15.
I'll kick in my 15.
Yep, I'll kick in.
Okay.
All right, mate, you've closed the deal. We're on the
70.
boat now. So
Yes. I'll,
can-
I'll be ready in just a moment. My boat is the long red one. It says on the side, the long red one. Go,
clever name.
Go climb
Can I
it.
do an
Make yourself
insight
at home.
check?
On the boat.
No, on him. Is it actually his boat?
Yes.
I don't trust it.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll just get some supplies and we'll be good to go. Just a moment. Okay.
Great.
So, the boat is in the harbour. You can go and climb onto it. It is well anchored to the side of the docks with 4 different looped ropes. It is levitated, but as you step onto it, it does give just a little bit. It's not a fixed levitation, so it does bob ever so slightly on top of the.
I'm gonna wait for this guy to get back, and then he can get on the boat first before I just walk onto this.
same. I'm hanging out with Kale.
I'm totally on the boat.
Arms crossed.
I'm
Staff in the nest.
rocking it
nestled in.
just to see its limits.
What are your limits? Roll a. I would say it's something to do with dexterity here, to get it right to the limit without tipping it over.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. There we go.
29.
That is you get it right to the point of tipping. You're close. Your mane almost touches the water, the fire, but then the boat rocks back. Perfectly safe.
Guys, it's good.
Right.
Yeah,
He'll come back. He'll arrive. He's changed his attire completely now. He's not dressed in the more formal suit of someone selling rides. He's now dressed in a quite elaborate-looking sailor's costume. He's gone out of his way to wear a black and white loose shirt with stripes that go across, and he's got a beautiful red bandana over his forehead. Doesn't need it, doesn't have any hair or anything, and he's immune to the fire, so should be fine. But he jumps on board, ready to go.
Yes.
Ready.
Let's go.
On.
So, do please keep your arms and legs inside the boat at all times. If you don't, then it's on you. Remember that?
All right, Mike. We're on the boat. Deal's closed. There's no need for pretense anymore. Are you not curious about what that light thing is?
I'm very curious. Very scared of it.
Good
Wait.
thing we're going.
How long has it been there?
It's well, we first noticed it about 5 days ago. Not too long.
And has the Sultan not sent anyone, or has anyone gone on expeditions of curiosity and exploration?
The Sultan's navy has gone out to investigate once, and the 3 boats that he sent didn't return. So I don't want you to get us too close, please.
Well, after that, did he like offer anything for folks? It's like, hey, go explore that, and I'll pay you lots of money. Because like, we before we leave, if we let him know that we're doing that, maybe we could get some of that.
Well, actually, strangely enough, after he sent his 3 ships out, he sent immediately a decree out to the people not to bother the big pillar in the sky. Apparently, it's important, or at least it's too dangerous for people to go to.
Right. Okay. We won't let him know then.
Okay. The journey will take you 3 days sailing through the water before you even get close enough to see the landmass.
3 days.
3 days on a boat.
That gives Tailin lots of time to figure out that thing.
Fiddle with the item, yeah.
So, intelligence check.
That would be a 24.
Okay. You come to understand and can clearly, in a quick moment, you are able to replicate the water sigil with ease, such that activating it, like switching it to the water and activating it, is a single action at this point for you. Okay. Other ones are more difficult to be able to work out. You do believe you've actually managed to figure out a way to combine the elemental planes and use this to actually travel to the spaces between the conjoining elemental planes. So where the earth elemental plane meets the fire plane is a whole horde of volcanoes and ashes. So you could teleport to there as well. It's a new option for you.
Sweet.
Just
Volcano land.
a thought.
Yeah.
How's my gnomish coming along?
Someone training you in Gnomish?
I had that book that I've been reading.
Yeah, you're just reading the book, right?
Yeah.
So your pronunciation. Does anyone in the group speak Gnomish? Okay. So roll an intelligence skill, intelligence check.
19.
19. Okay. So you're getting Gnomish quite well. You've pretty much got Gnomish down now, but your pronunciation is probably quite bad at this point. So just working by yourself, you're a bit off, but you can at least understand Gnomish. Can't speak it right now, but you can understand Gnomish.
Okay.
Okay.
Got
A
it.
couple more days worth of training, and you should be good to go.
Great.
All right. As the third day comes to an end, there is a huge landmass that gets closer towards you. This is a volcano that is positioned, and you can see the huge pillar of light shooting out just in front of the volcano proper. The volcano is not active right now, thankfully, but you can see the wrecks of 3 large boats, half dipped in the water, half out of water. Fire, half out.
I did want to ask, on this 3-day journey, I'd like to make a lot of observations on the water. Like, does it behave exactly how normal water would? It's just made out of fire?
Yes, it does.
At some point over this 3-day journey, I'd like to cast control water on it, somewhere innocuous, to see if I can does it work?
Ooh, roll a spellcasting ability check.
12.
12. You managed to cause a ripple. Not quite as good as the control water spell should be, but it seems the whole nature of this place, the way that the fire works, you could potentially get it to work that way. That is a cool thought. I didn't think about that. But it is very much like normal water and sea would be, in that over the course of the 3 days, you've even had to deal with waves. So turning the boat right in to go head first into the wave so that it doesn't topple the boat, and splashes of fire that come out and hit you and just singe people a little bit. But thankfully, all resistant to fire. So all good.
Any fish or anything? Fish?
No fish in the Sea of Fire.
Does our guide know of any aquatic creatures that live in the sea?
He'll explain that the aquatic creatures wouldn't be able to live in the sea because no oxygen.
Right.
And
I mean,
even aquatic creatures would need some oxygen.
Like, quotes, like any fiery elementally things.
Fire whales.
You might find a few salamanders closer to the actual shore line. Out in the open, not too many creatures. I mean, unless you're gonna come across a phoenix or something, but no. I mean,
Okay. Do phoenixes live in the water? Or?
Phoenixes live in the fire. That's where
Right, I
they
mean,
live.
that's fire, so...
Yeah, so they
Right.
live in there.
Okay. Neat.
So, the landmass comes into view. And looking at it, there is a half-moon-shaped bay where the pillar of light is rising up from. But your sailor friend is very reluctant to get the boat going too close. And so he kind of pulls it around to a bit of a stop, at least 500 feet away from the boat. I can't really get too much closer. It just gives me a weird feeling. That
Could you
feeling
just
is
do it
fair.
anyway, though?
What is the details on the sunken naval ships? You said they were like half out of the water?
Some of it looks like a proper wreck site,
Okay.
but half submerged.
Okay.
So how ye expect us to get to the shore?
I don't think you should go to the shore. I think we should take our boat back, and I'll sit pretty with my gold. 3 more days should be good.
Could you just take us over there?
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah. Yep. There's a 20, but it was cocked in my lap. And then I rolled a 3. 7.
A 7 in total.
Yes.
No. I'm not going to be moving my boat to get any closer, I'm afraid. This is as close as I'm going to get.
Can we see what hurt the other boats? What caused them to be destroyed?
Okay. I'll move the boat to get closer to them, but I won't get any closer to the island than they are.
Do you have any short boats we could just go ourselves? Like a life raft?
This is technically a tourist boat, luxury boat.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a very large inflatable banana that you could ride on.
No boy, I don't think that would work out.
Are there any unused rowboats on the naval vehicles? Because I'm assuming they're larger.
There might be. Once he pulls the boat a little bit closer, you guys could even potentially jump from his boat to that to carefully look. You need someone that's quite nimble and not likely to fall easily to be able to safely navigate the wreckage. Someone good at dexterity.
If someone had fly on them, they could hover, right?
That would work as well.
You want me to take a look at these boats? I could get closer. The problem is I'm not terribly observant, so...
Yeah, you really don't notice anything going on.
I could make one of you more observant folk fly, if you'd like, if that would make everything optimal.
How long does your spell last?
An hour.
Would that be more than enough time to fly to the island from the boats?
You're 500 foot away from the island, so at a fly speed of 120 feet per 6 seconds, you'd be able to get there in less than a minute.
Okay, perfect.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do.
I don't want to waste all my spells just getting from here to there and then be there and not have any spells left.
I'd like to take someone aside, or everyone, I guess. Can we just have a moment, sir, real quick? I think this guy might just abandon us here. I'm starting to get the feeling he might not stick around for as long as we're gonna be in there.
We don't need to come back out, though, man.
On the bright side, I know how to get us to the plane of water, and the plane in between fire and earth.
All right, let's just do just the water part. I feel like the plane between fire and earth probably wouldn't be hospitable. But yeah, okay, if we gotta wait, never mind. Never mind. I'm not worried about it.
So these are naval ships. Perhaps there are armaments on board suited to fighting creatures of a fiery persuasion?
Maybe, but they can't have been very effective. These were wrecked and destroyed.
It's true. Unless it was sabotage from someone on board.
So do you want to investigate the ship, or do you want to fly to the island? What do you want to do?
Kale, you still got that griffin thing?
I do, but it needs to rest for another 2 days.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't, effectively. I guess, yeah, if one of us could get over there and then get a boat, get a better boat.
Any volunteers? Otherwise, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, just do it yourself, man.
All right, I'm flying to the big boat, to the sunken boats.
All right. So flying over to going over to the sunken boats, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're looking around.
17.
Okay. All right. So looking at these boats, it is clear they were destroyed by fire damage. Now, the fact that the boats haven't completely sunk, once you actually get over to them, you realize the reason why they're half into the water or river, the lava, and half out, is actually the enchantment that keeps the hull afloat is still active. And so you don't actually have any portion that's in the lava, it's just simply floating at an angle right now, like a wreck would. The hull itself, from the inside, was damaged by a rain of fire that was on top. Everything looks scorched and charred. You can see that the Afriti soldiers would have been there, but they have been more or less turned to ash at this point. What are you looking for while you're looking at the wreck?
Well, these ships are, I would imagine, designed to sustain some degree of fire damage since they sail in the sea of fire. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that destroyed these ships, given the likelihood that they would be resistant to the type of damage that's apparent.
Yeah. Given that they are obviously resistant to fire, and the hulls are immune from the underneath, but not from the outside, from the above, it is clear these were destroyed by fire damage. But in order for a boat that is resistant to fire to have been damaged in such a way, it must have been subject to extreme fire damage. Okay. Now, in the wreckage, you do see some smaller boats that are still intact that have yet to be dropped in, one or two lifeboats that have yet to actually be detached. No knowledge of whether or not the magic needs to be activated in a particular way, but the boats are sitting there at the top of one particular wreck. If you'd like to try detaching one, you could give it a go.
I'll call out to the boatman. Say, mate, there are a couple of lifeboats here. I'll split them with you if you tell me how to work them.
Let me keep the boats after you're done with them, and I'll give you the rest of the journey free.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. You'll need to lower them carefully. Make sure that only the underside touches the lava. You should be fine. they should automatically turn on if they're encountering a lot of heat to the hull.
I'll do that, just like he says, carefully.
Carefully, pulling down a large boat by yourself, it's going to require some modicum of athletics.
Can it require a very small modicum of athletics?
Well, you're not sure.
19.
Adds a decent modicum of athletics there. You manage to slowly lower the boat in. It begins to start nose diving in, but then the magic does trigger and pick itself back up. You have 2 small lifeboats that work in the water. Fire.
Good.
So how do I make it come to get everyone?
Jump on one.
I'll jump on one. I'm still flying, in case anything goes amiss, but I'll jump on one.
Now, while you're flying, hold on to one of the seats and fly forward, pushing the boat.
All right, I do exactly that.
All right. So you'll be able to get the boat, pushing it using your fly, pushing the boat that hovers over the lava over towards him. He has some spare oars that will work. Special wood that's immune to fire.
Sure.
Yeah. Magic. Because magic. However, you've been, you dropped a boat into the lava. You have been exploring the wreck. I need everyone to roll a perception check.
16.
15.
Nothing.
18.
My passive is 16.
Wampum is 17, but passive 22.
Pass
Okay.
was 16.
It's not difficult for anyone. In fact, anyone. Everyone hears a loud screech, like a hawk-like screech, coming from the island. And looking over towards it, those of you with a perception of 16 or higher, which I think is most of you, will notice a large winged silhouette cross in front of the large pillar of light.
At least it's
It
not
is-
a dragon.
It is clear to those with the perceptions of 20 or higher that guarding this shard is nothing other than a phoenix.
There be a phoenix guarding it.
They hard?
Yes. Can we go now, please?
Do you know if they like anything? Do you know any? What do you? Tell me everything you know about phoenixes right now, real quick, real fast, immediately.
Well, they're quite dangerous. They seem to be quite. They're immune to fire and poison. Don't try to hurt them with fire. That wouldn't work.
Is there anything that they like? Can we placate them? Can we speak to them? Do they speak any languages?
Oh no.
Shit.
They are not intelligent enough to have a language.
Oh, they're like a beast. Okay, what do they eat? Do we have anything that they eat?
People.
Shit. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. If you do manage to kill it, then in its ashes a phoenix egg would appear, and you could hatch your own phoenix. It's actually quite valuable if you can get the egg.
Well, we have to kill it to get the egg.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
But a phoenix egg in the city goes for at least 500,000 gold pieces
That
to the right buyer.
doesn't matter. Just you're saying if we kill it, it doesn't actually die. It just turns into an egg and it gets reborn. Because I've heard that legendary thing, but that's real.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's
Great. I have no qualms about. We'll just kill it. It'll come back. So
Indeed.
You make it sound so simple, Kale. It looks quite alarmingly huge and fiery.
well, we haven't run into a problem yet that wasn't solved by Wampum throwing his hammer at it with reckless abandon. So I don't see why that would stop working now.
If it ain't broke, don't break it.
Sure.
Wampum will give Kale a cross-eyed look and then crawl into the boat.
I'll get in the boat.
I will put my flippers on and then get on the boat.
I will get in the boat too.
So all of you have gotten into the little dinghy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He will give you the oars and sail away. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't
Bye.
forget to bring the boats back when you're done.
You got it.
They're gonna try and kill a phoenix. Oh gosh. All right. So he's gonna sail off to safety, leaving you all alone with a phoenix on the shore of an island. What do you want to do? How do you want to approach this?
So to
Dale,
be
do you
clear,
wanna-
are we already on the shore? Did we make it to shore?
No, you're on your way to shore. In
Has
fact,
he noticed us yet?
Are you trying to move quietly?
Can we in a dinghy?
No, but are you trying? Is the important question.
Sure, yeah. Let's try.
Okay. Yes, he's noticed you, but go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Sure. I'm gonna guidance this stuff, if that's okay.
Yep.
16.
Oh,
Anyone else roll anything decent?
I got a 27.
21.
And I'm probably the guy rowing. So my paddles are real.
Wampum actually got a 19 at disadvantage.
I got a 17.
All right.
But do I get a advantage on stealth? I do with the Pua fee.
Purity.
Right. So the dinghy can easily be seen. Those of you inside of the boat, not so much. In fact, all of you are stealthy enough that you in the boat can't be seen right now, just the boat. You're hiding underneath it as it sails. Not underneath it, but underneath the level of it, as it sails towards the shore. You gotta love the map. I worked hard on this map.
Very professional.
Yep. So, how do you want to approach this? The thing has clearly seen the boat, and so it's stopped. The Phoenix glides into view. In all of its majesty, it is a beautiful, fiery beast that everyone should be able to see right now. As it swoops down, it lands on a small rock pile that it has made its nest, that's slightly out of the actual sea, the actual shore here. Behind it, you can clearly see the shard with its pillar of light above it. It is protective of the shard. That seems to be what it's doing, as those of you with a passive perception of 20 or higher can notice that it's almost acting like the shard is part of its nest. So.
Okay.
What are you doing?
On the way there, quietly, I would like to cast aid at 3rd level on me and Tazlin and Arcadio.
Okay.
So 10 max HP for everybody that I said their names.
Okay. Anything
as
else you
for-
guys would do to prepare?
If it's not too much trouble, I might suggest somebody casting fly on Wampum. So that me and him can... Oh, no, you got that thrower. Never mind, you don't even need it. Okay, well, I guess I'll be taking on the Phoenix toe-to-toe on my own.
You got it.
Not scared at all.
Alternatively, I could dimension door someone 500 feet in a direction if anyone knows what's going on, and get us to dry land ahead of time if someone's distracting the Phoenix.
I can cast fly on myself and 2 others. So if you can cast dimension door, that would take care of you, and I can fly Kale and Wampum. That way we don't have to worry so much about the lava. Or at least we don't have to worry about the sea. Like one thing less to worry about.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Alright. I cast Fly, and I'll grab my rod and my pearl to get some more slots back.
Okay. All right. Then, as you guys prepare, the Phoenix is preparing to get ready to strike the boat as it's floating towards you slowly, towards him slowly. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break before diving into the battle with a Phoenix. So join us after our short break for that. Thank you very much. Welcome back after the break, folks. Thank you for sticking with us. Our heroes have died of excitement for what's about to come. So, looking at a neat little battle map here, with Nos leading the charge at the front of the boat. We're going to roll for initiative. Because while you guys might be hidden from the Phoenix, the boat is certainly going to get attacked.
God.
Can we have readied actions for if the boat gets attacked?
Depends on what the readied action is.
Fail.
Remember the rules on if your readied action is to cast a spell, then you're going to have problems.
So if, for example, if the boat gets attacked, right before it gets attacked, we fly away, like that sort of thing, since we're already flying.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just if you were going to say, if it gets attacked, I'm going to cast such and such spell, then you'd lose the spell, the fly that you had. So, initiatives. Wampum, what did you get?
It's on the order a 23.
It is.
I got a
I
16.
just ask again just because people
everybody
viewing
else
us can't see it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what did you say, Taslin?
16, and I also need control of my icon. Thank you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Mm,
There you go.
Thank you.
So, 16 from you. Nos, what did you get?
I got an 18, which is pretty good for me.
And Lafcadio.
23.
And then Kale.
4.
4. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So, jumping into the thick of things, Lafcadio and Wampum with the same initiative order means you guys can choose who goes first.
All right, so the bird is still on its nest, correct?
Still on its nest, though its wings have picked up behind it. It's leaning forward. It's ready to lift off.
All right, I'll go ahead and lift cardio.
Well, if it, yeah, I'm just gonna fly. I'm gonna, with my move speed of 60. I'll just double move, so move and dash to the shore over there,
Okay.
and then my turn.
How
It
far?
picks
how
up
far
on
was that with
your
cardio?
position.
Beg pardon?
How far was that
105 feet.
from where you got? Okay.
It's like an electric light show going on with all these lines and colors everywhere. All right. Anything else from you, Lafcadio?
Nope, I'm done.
All right. Well, at the end of your turn, the Phoenix is going to kick off from the ground and fly directly towards the only thing it can see, which happens to be you. And it's going to attack you with its fiery talons.
He can also see the boat. Just throwing it out there.
He can see the boat, but you came from the boat. So yeah.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
What did you not mean to do?
I didn't mean to draw a line on the map.
All right. All right.
That's the arc of his hammer throw.
It's like dealing with children sometimes. And not in a derogative way, but I've played with children and they draw all over my maps, and I do apologize, but they're my maps. Don't draw them. All right, so Lafcadio, as it swoops in, strikes at you with fiery talons. That is a 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, and you will take 19 points of fire damage, but you're resistant to fire, so halved. And since everyone is resistant to fire, we're going to I'm always going to call out the half damage of 9 points of fire damage, okay?
Very good. And Kale, was that aid that was plus 10 to the hit points? Is that right?
It was, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
so you have one temp hit point, or no, one extra hit point.
Yep.
Because aid increases max. All right, Wampum, you just saw the Phoenix swoop in. Swoop.
How do I draw my distance again?
While you're moving your token, right-click or press Q.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ah!
It's going to take a while.
Actually, that is double move right there.
Okay. Anything else from you, Wampum?
No, I double move, so that's as far as I can go. I'm done.
Okay. Nos.
This is my first attempt using the winged flippers.
Mhm.
Do they work
You can-
like? Do they work like the winged boots?
Exactly like the winged boots, but they also work the same way underwater.
Okay. All right. So I will use all of my turn to get here and just be like, "Come on, you overgrown spicy chicken!" Ah! And then I'll rage too.
Okay. Raging. What's the con save for?
That was my concentration on fly.
Oh, did everyone lose fly?
It would appear so, yes.
So that would have happened before Nos left the boat.
Well, Nos isn't flying by me. It would happen
Ah.
before Wampum would have left the boat.
Yeah, so Wampum, before you left the boat. Yeah, so let's retcon just for a moment. What would Wampum have done, realizing he doesn't have the ability to fly anymore?
I am going to turn to. I'll turn to my left and say, Dimension doing me over there. We can't fly no more.
How close?
Put me right at the crystal.
You get a thumbs up.
Okay. So, all right. Any sort of action on your behalf, Wampum?
Nope. I'm just kind of like ready.
Okay.
Could his action be to withhold a hammer throw until after being dimension doored?
Yep. If
All
you'd
right.
like to.
I will ready the hammer throw to when I get there.
Okay. All right. Then, Taslin.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as I'm giving him the thumbs up for what he was telling me, I grab onto him, and I'm gonna teleport. I'm gonna dimension door all the way to 160 feet to that location with him.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourselves to that point. So, disappearing, reappearing. Okay.
And then my hammer's going to fly.
Okay, go ahead and throw the hammer.
35 feet's going to be at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
And dwarven thrower. It's going to be a 29 to hit.
All right.
Or
At disadvantage, it will be the 25.
25 to hit.
Yep. The hammer throw launches, connects with the side of the crystal, and then the hammer hits the ground. Doesn't fly back to you.
Oops.
Yep. It dealt damage to the crystal, but your hammer is now on the floor next to the crystal. All right, so that was your ready action
Yep.
to do that. Anything else from Taslin?
Let's see. I can move 30 feet, right?
That's your movement speed. then
Yep.
yes.
Oh boy. I will go 5, 10, 15. And I will just stay there.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the Phoenix will use another legendary action to fly away, to move up to its speed.
Can I
To-
get opportunity?
Yeah.
Same.
Honestly, oddly, rather, a beast of this size still gets flyby. The Phoenix doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach. Okay, so flies up to that speed, that position. Then it's its turn. It is going to attack Wampum because he just attacked the crystal.
Okay.
And so it is first of all a beak attack. That is a 27 to hit you.
That will hit.
You will take 8 points of fire damage, and you are now on fire.
Okay.
Okay. Until a creature takes an action to douse the fire, the target takes an additional 1d10 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. Then it's going to attack you with one of its fiery talons. Actually, no, it will attack Taslin with the talon. That's a 24 to hit Taslin
That will hit.
for 9 points of fire damage.
And does fire resistance stack?
No.
If I have it from 2 sources.
No.
Okay.
So you just take the 9.
Yep.
All right. Kale.
So I'm in this boat. I can't fly, and I have no way to teleport. Is the boat moving at all still?
It might have some slight momentum remaining. If you'd like to grab the oars and keep rowing.
If it's still moving a little bit, I guess that's fine. I'd rather get some information first. I'm gonna get a little bit of I will rip a page that I've memorized out of the Gnomish book and offer it to cast the divination spell as an action.
Okay.
So I will ask. My question for serving a specific goal. I'm not sure. What's the best way to resolve this situation?
And I give a truthful yet cryptic reply, right?
It doesn't have to be cryptic, but it does have to be truthful.
It does have to be truthful. Okay. All right. So, I don't want to just give away the secret, because that's quite a spell. Oftentimes, finding out what a creature wants is very valuable.
Okey-doke.
Okay.
Good to know.
Anything else from you, Kale?
Grab the oars and start going. I don't have any actions, but do what I can.
Roll an athletics check.
Oh boy, my best stat. 16.
Not bad. You get it moving. at least.
Great. That's it.
Just a little bit further forward. Okay. Back up to the top of the round. Life cardio.
I'm going to call out to Nos. I'll say, Nos, get down here. I'll zap us over there. And I'll prepare. If I see her agreement. Do I see her agreement?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Then I will prepare to cast Dimension Door so that we are both over there.
Okay.
When she gets into my range, I'll touch her and we'll both Dimension Door.
Ooh, whoops.
Okay.
Wrong button.
What's the whoops?
Oh, I accidentally hit the dice roll instead of the ruler.
No worries. All right. Anything else from you, Life cardio?
That's it.
You're not concentrating on any other spells right now, are you?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Then, before, well, yeah, wampum.
Yep.
What would you like to do? Your hammer's on the floor.
I am going to move toward my hammer.
Okay.
10, 15, 20, 25 will put me right there. And I'm going to turn around and throw 2 hand axes at the Phoenix.
At the Phoenix. Okay.
Yep.
You will have disadvantage on these attacks.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what?
If-
No. Let's just go ahead and break the crystal.
Okay, so you're going to throw the hand axes at the crystal.
Yep.
Okay. You'll have disadvantage on the attacks.
Okay.
Okay. It's because he's trying to throw a weapon whilst in melee with another. So 14, the hand axe just seems to just bounce off the edge of the crystal. Not quite hard enough to be able to deal any particular damage.
All right. Second attack.
That will hit, dealing another 8 points of damage to the crystal.
And I am done.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the Fiery Phoenix is going to use its... it's going to use an action, but... yeah, it's going to attack Wampum. Since he keeps attacking, it's going to beak attack Wampum. Oh, and Wampum roll a d6 as well. D10, sorry.
D10.
At the start of your turn, you would have taken a d10 of damage. That's a natural 1, so that's a miss on the attack.
5.
So you take 5. All right. Nos, what would you like to do?
Fly into Life cardio.
Okay.
So is that 5 halved?
Yes, because you are resistant, so you take 2 points of fire damage.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Life cardio waits with open arms as soon as Nos is in reach. Dimension doors. Where do you go? I believe you're muted, or at least I can't hear you.
Right there.
All right. Okay. Anything else from you, Nos?
I believe I can take the rest of my turn.
Yes, you can. You just
All right.
moved.
Let's hit this dude. 26,
That hits.
13 slashing on top of 8 radiant.
Okay.
And again. 18.
That is a hit. The
Ooh.
18.
18 slashing.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Nah, because I realized before I used a dash action and I'm not a rogue, so I couldn't rage. So I'll be raging this turn. So.
Okay. As you struck it with melee attack while within 5 feet of it, I need you to roll 2d10. All right, you
Ouchie.
take... Yeah, that is painful. You take 8 points of fire damage from simply attacking it. Okay. anything else from you, Nos?
No, sir.
Okay. At the end of your turn, there will be another beak attack being made, but this beak attack is going to go to Nos as a result of the attack. That's a 30 to hit.
Doesn't hit. Just kidding.
Roll a deception check.
No. Give it to me.
All right. You take still halved, so you don't only take 7 points of fire damage, but you are now on fire.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Normal.
Okay. We move to Taslin.
Bonus action, disengage.
Okay.
Then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, and I'm going to cast Black Tentacles. It's a dexterity 17 save. So I whip out a piece of a tentacle from a giant octopus out of my bag of components, still wiggling, and I say some magic words, and I'm like, abracadabra, and suddenly inky black tentacles sprout up in a 20-foot square all around the Phoenix, the fire chicken. Let's see. I want it one back, so 20. Yeah. 20 by 20, yeah.
A 20-foot square?
Yep,
Would you
20 by
like
20.
it to be moved at all?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So, as the tentacles rise up, does it need to make any sort of save
Yep.
straight away?
Dex 17. When it starts its turn, not this turn.
Right. When a creature enters the affected area for the first time on a turn. Okay. Anything else from you, Taslin?
Maybe I'll go 10 feet to the right. There we go.
Okay. Then, using its last legendary action, before it starts its turn, it's going to move up to its speed. No, that's a bit too far. I was trying to be cheeky. It doesn't actually go out that way, but it flies something like that. So it doesn't start its turn inside the black tentacles. It is going to move to protect the crystal and keep attacking at Wampum. So a beak attack as a 31 to hit.
Yes, it does.
You'll take 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Okay. And for its second attack, it's actually going to try to grapple you. So I need you to roll an athletics check. Wow, that was terrible.
And 22.
It's going to try it a second time. Go ahead and roll an athletics check. Or acrobatics, of course, to try and avoid the grapple.
16.
Okay, in this moment, it does grab hold of Wampum. And with the remaining, so on this turn, it moved, how much did it move? It moved 20 feet. So it's got 100 foot left of its movement speed. It's going to move half that, 50 foot, with Wampum in tow. To there. And drop Wampum in the lava.
So, while Flyby does remove opportunity attacks from leaving a threatened area, would Nos be able to get her opportunity attack when it enters the area? Because Nos gets a pole arm attack.
Yeah, actually.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Yeah. We'll say it flies within 10 feet of Nos.
Oh. I have to use my pole arm in order to do this, I think. I can't, like, grapple Wampum or anything.
No, you can't.
All right. Well, that was a 13. It probably didn't hit.
Yeah, it misses, unfortunately. So, dropping Wampum into the lava. Wampum, you are resistant to fire, so that's good. You're not going to melt too quickly. You will, however, take 12 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Pretty bad roll. Right. But you are in the water. It lets go of you. That is the end of its turn. Kale. Back over on the boat. What are you going to do?
I'm going nowhere fast. So
The boat was moving though. Did it move any closer?
Yep.
golly. Yeah. I will move to the front of the boat, and I will measure how far away I am from it. It's still too far. I'll try controlling water again, I guess.
Okay.
To try and move myself over there.
Make a spellcasting ability check.
It's a 2. That's a 2.
Fails, unfortunately.
Try new dice. Okay. That's it. I mean, I'll keep trying to use the oars to row, I guess.
Another athletics check.
Sure. Let's use a different dice. 10.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm coming, guys. I'm going to help.
All right. Then we get back to the top of the round. Lafcadio.
Okay. The black tentacle-y things are still around?
Yup.
Yep, unless they get dropped.
Does it look like I can jump over the affected area?
How high is your high jump?
I have a 10 strength.
Okay, so your high jump is pretty bad. You can jump 1 foot off the ground. But your long jump, if you don't move, you can only move. If you don't get a run up, you'll only be able to move 5 feet with your jump. So.
Okay, so that is my destination. I would like to run and jump over the tentacles if I think it's possible. If it looks like it's a size of a tree, then I'm not going to try to jump over it. So I guess that's what I'm asking.
I would say if you get a run up, so you waste a bit of your movement beforehand, yes, you would be able to make that jump.
Okay, yeah. I'll take a step back and then jump. Hop, hop. And then I'm there.
Okay.
Actually, I don't want to be that close. I want to be there. Okay. So I moved. All right,
Okay.
now I'm going to crack out my whip at the Phoenix with 20.
That will hit the Phoenix.
So with that, I'm going to use my last spell slot and use an Eldritch Smite. That's a 3rd level slot from my Pearl to do an extra 17 force damage.
Okay. That's not coming from the pearl, though. Right.
The spell slot, the Warlock spell slot was recharged from the Pearl, and then I used my Warlock
that's
spell
what you
slot.
said.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're using a spell slot. For some reason, for a second, I thought you were using the slot that was in a pearl.
Oh,
Which
no.
you. Okay.
All right, so I do an extra 17 force damage, and if the Phoenix is huge or smaller, it is knocked prone.
Okay. Takes the force damage, but it is not knocked prone.
Okay. And then I will smack it with my whip again. And I will smack it with my whip again. With a 12.
Unfortunately, the 12 misses.
Right. That's it.
Okay. At the end of Lafcadio's turn, the Phoenix will use a legendary action to go for the person closest to the crystal. It's actually going to use 2 points to swoop and
Did it
attack
enter
with the
the zone?
talons. It's got a movement of 120 feet. It's flying over the danger zone.
Right, yep.
Yeah, there is no way it's letting itself um,
Yeah.
get there. I mean, it's
All right.
immune to being grappled anyway. So, Talon attack. That's a 31 to hit you, Taslin.
That's gonna hit.
That'll be 20 points, so 10 points of fire damage
All right.
on you. All right. Wampum, you start your turn. You are on fire, so you take a d10 for being on fire. So 7 halved down to 3.
Okay.
You're also in the lava when you start your turn. And so take an additional 10 points of fire damage.
Okay.
You can swim through the lava as you would water, so half speed, all that, to get back to shore.
And my 25 movement would get me to there.
Okay, so you pull yourself up off the floor, finally out of the dreaded lava.
And I am throwing 2 axes at it.
Okay. How many axes you got left?
This is my last 2.
Okay.
So a 26 to hit
That'll hit
for 6 points of damage. And
Okay.
I also
It
wanted,
seems to be resistant to the damage as the hand axe is not magical.
okay, and I wanted to make a DC 17 Wisdom save.
Okay.
No problem. Nat 20.
That is a 30 on its wisdom save.
And then my second attack
Okay.
is a 24 for 7, and then you're going to have that. And I wanted to make another DC 17 Wisdom save.
It succeeds
Yes, it does.
with a
And
24.
I am done.
Okay. All right. At the end of Wampum's turn, it will make an attack with its beak against Taslin. That is a 23 to hit Taslin.
That will hit.
Okay. You take 7 points of fire damage and are also now on fire.
All
Okay.
right.
Nos.
I roll a d10.
Yep. For the fire damage that you take. So 6 halved down to 3.
And then I'm gonna do like the spicy chicken did, and I'm going to fly up and kind of around up over the tentacles, land there, and have at that crystal.
Okay.
24.
All right. You hit for 14 points of slashing damage. As your weapon connects with the crystal, you notice you're used to this weapon. It's a slightly enchanted weapon. It's a magical weapon. As such, it usually has that little hum of arcane energy. The moment it connects, mundane.
Mm-hmm.
The weapon becomes mundane after it connects with the crystal.
I noticed Wampum's hammer doing it, but this is saving the world business.
Yep. So you deal an extra 14 points of damage to it.
Actually, if it's not magical anymore, that'd be 13 points of damage.
Yep. I would say you get the first hit off as the extra one, but doesn't matter. So, anything else?
Yep. Hit it again for 24.
That'll hit again.
That's 10 points of damage.
Okay. It's beginning to crack.
All right, I'm going to spend my action surge on this.
Okay.
22 for
Okay.
16 points of damage. And that's a critical.
That'll hit.
So 17 plus 6.
Okay. All right.
I got a half attack too.
You do have a half attack.
That's another critical.
Wow, you're critting quite a lot. All right.
Champion.
Yeah.
So that's
All right,
11
so,
plus 3.
So 14. All right. Huge cracks start spreading across this thing. It has taken 93 points of damage thus far. Anything else from you, Nos?
Nope.
All right. It's used, yeah, so it can't do any more. All right, Taslin.
All right. So canceling a concentration, does that count as a bonus action or is it a free action?
You just drop it.
All right, I'm dropping the tendrils.
As you take 2 points of fire damage.
Yep. And then I'm going to cast Ghoul Touch. Not Ghoul Touch, it's Vampiric Touch. On the Phoenix.
Cool touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a 26 with my +9.
That'll hit.
All right, so he takes 3d6 damage.
What kind of damage?
Necrotic, because
Okay.
that's the best one. And that will be 15 damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to heal myself for 7.
So it takes 15. You take 1 point of fire damage.
Okay.
Halved down to 1 point of fire damage.
So I gain 14 HP.
I thought you said you heal yourself
I-
for 7.
Oh, right, 7, so I get 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Yup. I'm going to use my bonus action to use
Yep.
Blessing of the Raven Queen, and I'm going to teleport 30 feet away. Right to there. Actually, I'm going to teleport close to my buddies.
Okay.
Right to there. There we go.
Okay. The Phoenix is going to show off its battle prowess, and it's going to already start by biting Wampum from where he is. So that's a 15 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. But you can see that its reach is incredibly far. It'll then move slightly over to him. And with this reach, it's going to try and grapple Nos, same as it did with Wampum. So, athletics or acrobatics check from Nos. With a-
11.
With a 21 from the Phoenix, it successfully manages to grapple you. It will use its second attack to hit you anyway. Wait, no, that was its second attack. Never mind, ignore that. It will, however, fly with you.
Yeah, you didn't like that, did you big chicken?
Nope. It's going to fly 50 foot out and drop you into the water.
Is there any way that I because I'm wearing flying boots here. No.
Oh, yeah, you're wearing flying boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll drop you and nothing will happen. Except the face gets, the Phoenix gets quite cross.
Neener, neener.
That's Phoenix for die. All right. Kale.
All
How are you
right, so
doing
the,
there, Kale?
the control water thing isn't working out. I
Boat
will.
moves forward a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Still not so great. I'll I'll reach into wherever I keep my components. I get a piece of fur out, a little bit of fur out,
Mhm.
and I'll rub it and I'll say the prayer I need to say to be in strength of bull, and I will give myself full strength with enhanced ability, and then I will continue rowing with extra strength.
Roll an athletics check.
16.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Oh, goddamn close. Okay. That's it.
Lafcadio.
All right, seeing that the Phoenix is terrified of me personally, since it keeps on flying away, I will then go to the crystal, so I can't reach the Phoenix, and slash at it with my whip twice.
Okay.
It's a 13 and a 27.
Okay. With the before you even get to the 27, the 13 misses. The 27 will hit. The whip becomes mundane, but those 9 points of slashing damage with the whip wrap around and just almost marry the cracks that are already on the crystal. It wraps around, squeezes, cracks. You watch as the crystal begins to shatter and break, and with a huge crash, the crystal explodes into many, many tiny little pieces. The crystal is dead.
I say, I got the crystal! And that'll be it.
All right. The phoenix goes wild and is going to fly to Kale.
Wait, no, don't do that.
Wampum.
Does the hammer return to my hand now?
No.
So I am going to go. 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. So I will go to there and pick the hammer up.
Okay. The hammer feels mundane at this point.
Okay.
Okay. At the end of Wampum's turn, the phoenix is going to make an attack at Kale.
Don't do that.
That's an 18 to hit Kale.
Yeah.
So you take 6 points of fire damage and are also now on fire.
Let me roll a con save. I rolled a 1. So I don't have bear strength anymore.
Okay. Anything? So we now move to Nos. What are you going to do, Nos?
Roll a d10.
Yep. Taking 2 points of fire damage.
Great. And I don't think I've ever seen Kale Dimension Door before. I don't think I have. All right. So I will use a dash and get there.
Okay. Taslin.
All right. And I take 1d10 burning damage.
Yes, you do.
That will be 2 damage. And
Is that 2 half down to 1 or 4?
No, it's 4 half down to 2.
Okay.
And then I'm going to set myself out.
Okay, so you use your action to just pat yourself down and get rid of all the fire.
Yep. And then I am going to move to the crystal and pick up some of it.
Okay. You have a piece of the crystal.
Perfect. And that is all I can do right now because I cannot reach him with anything.
Okay. At the end of your turn, or rather on the Phoenix's turn, it is going to attempt to grapple Kale. So athletics or acrobatics. That is a natural one, a 5 from the Phoenix. One more time.
What is it spinning? I got a 14. Ah!
The Phoenix has seen that its quarry is gone. The thing it was protecting is gone. It seems to have no desire to protect the shore anymore, and as such, it's going to fly 120 foot away and dive bomb into the lava. Do you guys give chase to the Phoenix?
Shit, no.
With
All
what?
right.
Yeah.
With what?
Just checking. You might dive headfirst into the lava. You never know. All right. The Phoenix disappears. Kale's boat will slowly make its way to the shore. Kale on top of it. You guys will have the time to be able to douse the flames on everyone, so you guys should be fine. But hey, one crystal down.
Great.
Right?
Yep.
Good job.
Okay.
But at what cost?
Good
Same.
Oh.
work, everybody. I feel everybody contributed a very fairly equal amount to that battle.
Sorry about that. I had the flying, and then it hit me, and I got all flabbergasted. And I was like, oh no, what am I doing? Flying? That doesn't make sense. I'm a cat. Cats
That's
don't
all right.
fly.
I've learned over our time together that my place isn't really on a battlefield anyway, so it worked out fine.
Not with that attitude.
Anyway, you broke the crystal. Nothing bad happened, I assume.
Well, watch this. And Wampum will hold out the hammer and drop it.
Yeah.
That's how that's supposed to work, though.
No, it's supposed to come back.
I thought that's just when you threw it.
Can I...
Wampum
May I
will-
take a look at it?
Yes.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I am familiar or know anything of the sort of objects that may drain magical items of their power?
I mean, you know there are such things as dispel magic. There are anti-magic fields. That's just a thing.
Is there... I probably wouldn't know if there's a way to return magical properties to magical items, though.
It would all depend on how the magical property was removed. If the magical property is just suspended, then you could return the magical property. If the magical property was actually dispelled, which is very difficult to do, but if it is, then the item needs to be completely re-enchanted, which takes time.
Well, potentially it could be suspended, and will return in time. Otherwise, it's just a hammer now. I'll gingerly hand it back to Wampum.
What's your professional opinion? Is it temporary or permanent?
I give a shrug.
So how do we go about telling?
We could
Only
wait.
time will tell.
I don't suppose you could pick up anything from the shards that remain.
I pull out the shard that I picked up from this.
Mm-hmm.
Would identify still work on a broken item?
If the enchantment still exists, potentially.
Can I attempt to cast identify?
Yes, go ahead and cast identify.
Okay, I take a minute, I waggle my fingers, and I touch it.
After being destroyed, the crystal loses all magical properties, and as such, you're unable to ascertain the magic that may have been on it.
Okay.
Was the crystal made out of diamond?
Oh.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I guidance it?
Yep, you can guidance it.
That 24.
24. Okay. It is made out of diamonds. It's probably worth close to, I'd say close to 400 gold worth of diamond right there. It was a big crystal.
Yes. Yes.
And
I open up the bag of holding. I'm like, can you just
just scoop it all in.
Yeah.
Dustpan it.
Wampum will walk away from where the crystal was to
Mhm.
about right there, and then throw his hammer at the wall, straight ahead of him.
Okay. The hammer will hit the wall, fall to the ground, just lay there.
All right, I see your point now. It's very unfortunate.
Is Did we see anywhere that the phoenix had its nest?
It seemed to be perched on that little mound
Little
of
gap.
earth,
Okay.
but after the crystal died, it flying off would seem to indicate that it no longer considers anywhere around here to be its nest.
Okay. So I am gonna Do I still have a slot? I'm gonna dimension door over there with my final slot, and I'm gonna see if there's any goodies in its nest
Okay.
from previous people at 8.
Roll an investigation check.
All right. So my passive investigation is a 19,
Right.
and that's a 16 plus 9, so 25.
Okay. So all around you is a nice collection of charbroiled human and Ifrit, but the Ifrit would have been destroyed and dissolved. But you see the remains of creatures that were killed previously. Not really much by way of their equipment. You can see a large pool of molten metal. So weapons and item coins that they may have had on them would have, over the course of a couple of days, just melted into a big pile of gold, silver, bronze mush.
Well, I will.
Unfortunately, nothing of any particular value.
Yeah.
So, you dimension doored over to that single place.
Yup.
What are you going to do now?
Well,
How's it going over there, Teslin?
I found a bunch of melted stuff. Can you get me back?
Yep. Hi.
Hi.
Can you lift?
My hero.
I'll pick him up.
Proper cradle style, right?
Of course.
Flying.
I am only the gentlest with my friends here.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys get back all together.
Okay, I mean, we probably have time. It doesn't seem like anybody's going to come bother us out here anytime soon. So you guys want to rest for a little bit before we head off to the plane of water?
Makes sense.
We know it's at least 3 days from shore, at least on a tourist boat. So, like, if anyone wants to, I guess that someone will come and try to figure out why the light went away. But yeah, I guess it wouldn't. They'd be hard pressed to get here that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So do you want to rest here or just go?
We could do a little short rest, maybe.
Let's rest over there with the crags, so it's a little bit harder to see us from top view here.
And if this crystal was placed here by someone, there may be some other things of value or other magical means to defend the crystal that we simply have not stumbled upon.
Really trying to push for a new magical item, aren't you?
No. I mean, just a phoenix guarding this thing?
Okay. So, you guys will be able to take a short rest. Nothing will bother you over the course of the hour that you spend resting.
Great.
Sweet.
All right. So you use the device and teleport to the elemental plane of water.
One. Is that what we want to do?
I don't know.
Okay.
The world is your oyster.
Well, you have the water breathing spell, right, Tazza?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Prepared and everything. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a ritual, so I always have it prepared.
Great. So just hit us up with that, and then send us to the plane of water, and we'll figure everything out once we get there. You know what? That sounds bad coming out of my mouth. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound good at all. Let me ask some questions.
And do we have any further business in the plane of fire while we're here?
I certainly don't.
I want to finish my shield.
We really don't have a week and 3 days more than that to get back to work on your shield, unfortunately.
Why not?
I
Because
mean,
we have to save the world from this calamity.
could we not use the item to teleport back into the plane of fire with our Rubik's Cube of planes? Would that work? Can you teleport back to the same plane to a different location?
Of course.
Ah.
Well,
We can
that,
theoretically.
yeah, theoretically. You're a little familiar with the place by now. You've been to certain locations, so it could work.
We could teleport back with the item, but it does have a day cooldown from what we have discovered in our first use of it.
Yep.
So how many of these crystals we got left?
3?
I don't know.
As best as you know, 1 for each of the planes. So 3 elemental planes. You got the Shadowfell one, you got the Feywild one, you got the this one. Can you think of any other inner planes? I believe that's all of them.
Sounds right
So,
to me.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you will want to do stuff, I was looking up spells, so you guys keep planning while I figure out what I was going to do. I guess I could do that.
I don't think a week will hurt the mission that much.
Well, the avatar of a god literally came and told us to move faster. Not very long ago. So I disagree with you.
It wasn't like a subtext or anything. It wasn't gently implied. The Banyan said we're not doing it quick enough. So I am inclined to do things as quickly as possible.
Yes, I'm very sorry about your shield, but you got a fancy new one that, to my knowledge, didn't touch the crystal, so it still works. That should be good enough, right?
No, but I'd be going with you.
Well, once all this is resolved,
We
that
can
would
come
be
back,
sent
yeah,
back.
because
Okay.
So he's
So
cool with it.
Taslin casts water breathing as the
Yup.
ritual on everyone.
I would like to cast. I guess I'll cast divination again.
Yeah.
Can I do that? Because 2 more times
I think-
proficient, there's a 25% chance.
Yeah. Every time you cast it.
Ugh, I don't really want to do that. Is there any other thing I can cast that'll help us? Augury?
Augury if you plan to move within the next 30 minutes.
Uh, you know, we'll just wing it.
All right. Taslin, go ahead and
Taslin,
click
it's
that
me.
box.
I click the box
All right.
with everyone touching me so we don't get separated and then it's just me.
Okay. You're not familiar with the elemental plane of water in any way, shape, or form, are you?
Nope.
Okay. I'd like you to roll a d6 for me.
Sweet. If I remember last time, I was like 1 dice off from a bad result. But let's try a 2.
A 2. Okay. So, you click, everything goes black for an instant, then suddenly everyone is smacked in the face by a rushing pile of water as you teleport into water, all capable of breathing. This is a strange experience for some of you to be able to breathe the water itself, but you are underwater. Unfortunately, everything is very, very dark. You must be very deep under the water as there is no light, natural light, anywhere near you. Visibility through this clouded water is limited to 30 foot. For those that have dark vision, and you are blinded if you don't have dark vision.
I think we're a full dark vision party, right?
You should be.
Yeah.
As you land in the elemental plane of water, you feel the weightlessness of being under the sea. Everything's a little cold. You guys aren't really prepared for the cold, so I need everyone to roll Constitution saving throws.
11.
23.
8.
20.
Okay.
15. Because I would use my
15.
saving phase for that. That's embarrassing.
Okay. Everyone who rolled less than a 15, which I think is just Lafcadio
And Kale.
and Kale, due to the cold and the pressure of the water at this point, each gain a level of exhaustion.
Great.
Okay.
Would I have any inkling as to whether the plane of water would be all water, or if there's like we could get to the top of the water somewhere?
Maybe you've read about it in a book somewhere.
I feel like that's
Folk tales and fables from when you all were kids, especially those pirate-like folk amongst you, would know and have heard about tales of ships getting lost in a storm on the material plane and accidentally sailing the waters of the elemental plane of water. If those folk tales are to be believed, then the elemental plane of water does have a surface.
cool. So I'm gonna hit up some control water immediately
Okay.
and just push us straight up.
Okay. Kale.
Hmm?
How do you know which direction's up?
You're right.
Would we naturally float that way?
Yeah, exactly. Can you make bubbles happen and see which way they go?
Yeah, we just
Can you still breathe air while you're breathing water? Probably. I'd say you'd be able to create.
I do one of these.
Okay. So yes, it's fairly easy. Thinking about that kind of thing, it's fairly easy for people to create wind under the water. Okay. So you let bubbles fly, and they will float up. Okay. Good. Your instincts were right that up is the way up, but it is worth noting that other than the bubbles, with being so far down and there being no light, it's dark, there was no way for you to be able to tell which direction was which. So you need to find a way of navigating the elemental plane of water without such usual abilities, because you're going to run out of breath, effectively.
For 24 hours?
Floating
Oh.
up? No, but
I mean, I
if-
could also do like Ray of
mean-
Frost and then have the ice rise. That would be.
Yep, that would work. I'm just saying other options than blowing bubbles, because you guys are going to run out of actual oxygen out of the water. So, rising up, you're going to rise for an hour. Everyone's going to have to roll another con save.
Sure.
Can I use prestidigitation? Because I can I can chill or warm or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living. Oh, non-living. Never mind. Ignore me.
18.
Okay.
16.
As you guys are rising up, in this case, the DC does decrease down to 14. So anyone, did anyone roll below 14? I don't think so.
Me.
Okay. Okay. So you gain a level of exhaustion.
Yup.
Continue to climb. Yeah.
If I notice that Taslin's shivering or anything like that, can I like offer my body heat for him to kind of warm up? Just climb onto my back, or I'll hold on to him or something.
Can do. Yeah.
This is all non-verbally, like
Dazzlin is definitely shivering. He's unhappy. He's soggy. This is unpleasant.
Continuing to climb. Yep.
I
go
see
ahead.
that happening, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get down on this.
got one on my front, one on my back, and I'm just
Kale, Wampum, are you gonna?
No, I'm just
Jump in.
Supermaning it up.
Okay. Another hour goes by. Boy, you guys must be deep. Go ahead and roll another con save, everyone, please. DC drops each time.
I rolled a 20.
16.
12.
I like this.
Unless I have advantage from the extra body heat.
Unfortunately, I would think the situation actually would cause the opposite effect to Nos. It would give Nos disadvantage, as her body heat is being pulled away from her. Unfortunately, did anyone else roll below a 13, other than Lafcadio? Nope. So Lafcadio gains a level of exhaustion.
That's 2 levels of exhaustion.
Which means your speed is halved.
So
Fine.
if I would see Lafcadio cold, right? Yeah, because we're like hanging on its nos. I'm gonna cast Fireball below us, like 60 feet, so the hot water comes up and like heats us up.
You cast Fireball. Doesn't do anything underwater.
Oh, not even steam.
Not even steam. Not this cold. Unfortunately.
This is not your
So
epic.
Lafcardio's speed is reduced. Are you going to leave him behind, or are you going to slow yourselves down?
Well, we're just
No,
getting
he's
pushed up.
on me. I'm.
I guess
helping
you're gonna lift him up. All right. So making it up, finally after an hour, no longer needing to roll con saves as the water gets slightly warm enough that the pressure and the cold doesn't get to you guys anymore. You can see light ahead of you. It is shining. There is what appears to be a sun. You float towards it, and you break the surface, like mermaids rising to the surface.
I whip my mane,
Back and forth.
so it's glorious. Slow motion.
Wampum just brings his beard out.
I'm gonna look around at presumably not much. Be like, man, I wish we had a folding boat about now.
On the surface of the water, looking out as far as you can see, there are small floating pieces of land, very small chunks of land that you could swim to, that are within a couple minutes swim, but nothing large. I'm assuming you would go to get some semblance of ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you swim over to the water, over to the little land mass. The one that's probably big enough for you all is about 40-foot square land mass. It does bob. It is free floating, but it is at least strong enough to carry all 5 of you. So you can sit on top of this and admire a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky.
Puberty
Everything's
back in the bag.
There's no shafts of light in the distance anywhere.
Roll a perception check.
Oh no. 10. My passive 16.
So, anyone else roll anything decent?
24.
My passive's a 22.
My passive is a 16. I rolled a 9.
So Wampum and Lafcadio will notice. It's very difficult to be able to see a shaft of white light on the horizon of white. No cloud in the sky, but there's also no real sky. The sky is clear. So it's difficult to pick out the difference between the shaft of light and the area around it, but you will notice it. And it's not actually too far away. You're only about 5 or 6 miles away from roughly where this shaft of light seems to be coming out of the water. Do you
great.
paddle? Do you kick the water and paddle your little land mass over towards it?
I guess.
Do ye magic folks have a way to make this island move?
I could, but it would probably be better for me to conserve my magical energy for whatever's waiting for us at the thing.
I'll just like hang my top half off of it and leisurely kick my flippers.
Okay, I don't mean to slow us down, but maybe we could take our time getting there. Uh, that swim has taken a lot out of me.
Take
I
a minute.
imagine Nos isn't going to get us, like 5 miles very quickly.
No.
Just saying, I'm in no rush.
Well, we don't have any other destination. If anybody shows up, I can speak Aquan. I'll ask them what the deal is. Where maybe there's somewhere we can go and relax for a moment. But until then, this is all we got. I'll say just gesturing around to basically nothing. It's our only option, really.
Wampum will go to the front of the island and use his shield as a paddle.
Is there anything? I'll light my torch and just give it to Lafcadio, and I'll kind of snuggle right up against Lafcadio with the torch.
Lights mate.
Okay. Huddling close together under the on a nice little soft landmass ride, close to some heat. You guys will slowly heat up over the course of the couple hours that it'll take to finally push the landmass through those couple miles. It'll take you a good 5 hours of if paddling and pushing mundanely is all that you really do. But eventually you will get to the point where the shaft of light is right there. But there's no crystal. It just shines out of the surface of the water. There's no top to the shaft of light. So presumably there's probably no bottom to it either.
It's already been taken care of, everyone. Let's go home. Next crystal.
I think it's down there.
As Wampum's astute calculation of the situation and indication that the next shard is far below them underwater, we're going to end our session there as our heroes prepare to spend next week under the sea. Will join us next week for that. Thank you very much, folks, and have a brilliant night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.